Okay, so it is day 1 of part 2 of my weight loss journey. I say part 2 because it's 2024. For the last 2 months of 2023, I really took a break from weight loss. So I'm starting fresh this year and I'm excited to finally hit my goal weight this year. So I'm gonna share with you guys what my goal weight is. And you guys know in 2022 and 2023, I lost 45 pounds after giving birth to Kylo. And I finally surpassed my pre-pregnancy weight. So I'm so proud of myself for that. But I feel like at the end of the year in 2023, like October, November, and December, I really wasn't motivated to lose weight. And I feel like that happens to everyone. I think it's just because it's the end of the year, you put in so much work throughout the year and you kind of burn out. Like I legit was feeling so burnt out from work, burnt out when it comes to weight loss. And I was trying so hard to push through, but I just couldn't. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna take a break. And so I pretty much maintained my weight for the most part, but obviously we got that holiday weight gain to talk about. So every Christmas, I always gain a couple pounds, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm so proud of myself because a couple years ago, I really struggled with binge eating. I would literally gain like 15 pounds in the span of like 2 weeks and pretty much every Christmas, which is insane. That just like shows that I really was this binge eating and overeating for no reason. So I'm really proud of myself because the last couple Christmases, I've really only gained like a couple pounds, which is totally normal. But the past couple of years, my relationship with food and weight and my body is in such a good place, like such a good place. I finally feel like I have a healthy relationship with food. So anyways, let's talk about that holiday weight gain. I was petrified to step on the scale. Like I was scared. Okay, I actually have a really good, healthy relationship with the scale now. I don't attach emotions to it, although I just said I'm scared. Hear me out for a second. I don't attach emotions to it and I don't attach my self-worth to it. I look at the scale the same way I would look at a ruler or a measuring tape or a calculator. It's just a tool. Maybe not a calculator. It's just a tool to measure. So keep that in mind. I know everyone's different, but I am being dramatic when I say that I was petrified, but I definitely was like, oh my God, I feel like I gained probably 10 pounds. But I will say I was mindful. So when I did have leftovers, I wasn't over serving myself. My original plan was to only, you know, enjoy the holiday eating for like 3 days, but I'm not gonna lie to you, it was like a good 5 days that I was definitely overeating. But I'm happy to say I only gained 4.4 pounds, which I'm so happy about. I literally thought it was gonna be 10 pounds. But I want you guys to keep in mind when you do gain weight in that short period of time, especially from the holidays or just overeating for a couple days, 90% of it is water weight. So you don't need to feel bad about yourself. And also keep that in mind when you do go into a deficit afterwards and you do lose the weight's gonna come off pretty quickly. Why? Because it's water weight. Honestly, when I shifted my mindset and started looking at weight loss in a very like scientific and analytical way and just broke weight loss down to a scientific equation and just stuck to the facts of what I know about the body and the weight and the metabolism, I had a much healthier relationship with my weight loss journey. So I actually think I'm gonna do this little like weight loss series with you guys where every month I'm just going to document my weight loss journey monthly and share it with you. This first episode is gonna be just for the week, not the month, because I'm just kind of eager to get it out there for you guys because I know a lot of you guys would enjoy that content within the first week of January. So I don't wanna wait a whole month. So I'm really excited for that because I'm gonna share with you guys just so many ups and downs that happen in your weight loss journey. So I'm super excited to just like document it all. I really wanted to do that last year and I never got around to it. So I thought, why not kick the year off with a weight loss series? So I wanted to break down with you guys, for those of you who are new, what my plan is going to be. So my plan is always calorie deficit. Calorie deficit first, number one, obviously. But number two, I always do a cheat meal once a week. And for those of you who might be new here, you might be like, what, girl, how do you lose weight by having a cheat meal once a week? You most definitely can. And I know you're probably happy to hear that because anytime I would try to lose weight in the past, I would try to do this thing where I would like test and challenge myself to see how long I could go on a calorie deficit without having a cheat meal, which by the way, I know the word cheat meal, some people are like, don't use that word. It has a bad meaning, like the word cheat, you know, it makes it honestly, it's a word. Everyone is going to be different. If that word alone affects you, totally cool. Just call it something different, like a refeed day or an off day, like whatever you want to call it, tomato, it is what it is. You're kind of going off your deficit for a little bit, whatever. That word doesn't affect me personally, so you'll hear me using it. In the past, I would try to challenge myself to see how long I could go being on a deficit without having a cheat meal. And that was the worst thing you could ever do. Why? Because I would literally go like a month without having any sort of cheat. And that's the worst thing you can do. Why? Because what happens is when you finally get that cheat meal, you have so much like built up, and then you go and binge like crazy. Like I'm talking, you'll have like 5,000-6,000 calories in one day just because you're like, oh my God, I haven't had a cheat meal in so long. Finally, today I don't need to count my calories. Let me just go ham. And also another thing too is you kind of have that scarcity mindset, because now you're thinking to yourself, I don't know when I'm gonna be able to have my next cheat meal. This is my last chance. And then you end up just like gorging and binging. And that is definitely what perpetuated my binge eating. So I highly, like if there's one thing I could recommend, I know that with the new year, like people want to start off their health journey and their weight loss journey and they have good intentions, but I think people forget to do proper research on how the body works and also how the mind works, and just be very mindful. Like I know you want to like have a good kickoff start, but hey, in a couple days, I'm gonna have my cheat meal. It's okay if it's gonna be, what is it, January 6th? It's okay if it's January 6th. I'm gonna have my cheat meal. Like a lot of people would be like, no, it's January 6th. I need to stay on my deficit. Stay. By the end of January, you're gonna be so burnt out. You're gonna have such a heavy scarcity mindset that you're just gonna go and binge eat. So I don't recommend that at all. Definitely recommend having a cheat meal. A slow and steady approach is better than a fast and then quitting approach. Listen, I may have taken a year and a half to lose 45 pounds, but that's okay. I enjoyed myself while doing it. I had hella cheat meals in the meantime. Yes, I could have lost 45 pounds in 6 months, but guess what? I would have heavily binged afterwards and probably gained it all back. But here I am a year and a half later, lost 45 pounds and still here, maintained it, didn't gain it back. In the past, I literally would gain it back in the next 6 months. Believe me, I know it is tempting to want to lose as much weight as possible, as fast as possible, but 9 times out of 10, that usually means you're going to gain it back because you're gonna have such a buildup and have that scarcity mindset and you're just gonna binge. It also is so much more enjoyable to just have a little bit of a slower weight loss if it means you get to enjoy a cheat meal once a week. So, and also that cheat meal gives me such a good reboost. Like after I have that cheat meal, I feel so like motivated for the week, you know what I mean? And then I'm back on it. So it's just been really good for me. So that's one of my biggest tips. So last thing I wanna do is show you guys what my body looks like today at the start of my journey. So before, like I said, I gained about 4.4 pounds after the holidays. So let me actually check my scale app. So this is my scale. I'm gonna pop it up here. This is not sponsored at all, but I just wanna share it because it's so super easy. Like as soon as you open up your phone, the scale just connects to your phone and it tracks your weight. So on December 20th, I weighed 143.4, and then January 2nd, I weighed 147.8. So that's a 4.4 pound weight gain. And this is what my body is looking like today. I'm gonna also show you guys what it looks like regular, relaxed, and then also when I suck it in, just for context, you know, because I feel like, you know, when people see photos, they're like, oh my God, you're so tiny. It's like, I'm obviously sucking it in, and we all look different when we're relaxed and just like breathing normally. So I wanna show you guys both. And I wanna share with you guys so that we can start off this series with like what my full stats are. So when I went into labor with Kylo, I weighed 188.8 pounds. So pretty much 189. So I actually have it written down on my phone here because I don't think I had that scale yet when I was postpartum. I honestly cannot remember. And then 1 week postpartum, I still weighed 185 pounds. Like I didn't really lose that much weight. I did have a C-section, so I was really swollen, but yeah, I don't know. My body really didn't lose that much weight on its own after having Kylo. And then at around 5 weeks postpartum, I was 171 pounds. And I remember I didn't start my weight loss journey at that time. I was definitely being mindful though. Like you guys know me. I definitely had a couple days in there where I was in a deficit, but wasn't fully dedicated to it. So my body pretty much lost about roughly 17 pounds on its own. Let's actually just do the math on that. So 188.8, and then I weighed about 171 5 weeks postpartum without even trying, like just naturally being mindful. My body lost about 17.8 pounds on its own. And then after that, I kicked off my weight loss journey, which then I weighed 143.4 by December 2023 and lost an additional 27 pounds. So in total, 188.8 minus 143.4, I lost 45.4 pounds total in 2022 and 2023. Like a lot of people get shocked at my goal weight, but I am only 5'1". I'm really not that tall. So my goal weight is about 120 pounds. So I'm really excited to finally hit that this year. To be honest, that's been my goal weight for years. But like I said, I've in the past had a really unhealthy relationship with food and weight. And I've always just gone up and down and up and down. And I think throughout this series, I'll probably share more about that. Like I have some dark times, y'all, but it's just not something I'm gonna get into today. So probably throughout the series, I will definitely share more. I feel like meal prepping is really intimidating to people. When you say meal prep, they just get overwhelmed and you think of like a bunch of meals laid out from Monday to Friday and it just breakfast, lunch, and dinner, snacks. Like it just gets overwhelming. But what I do is whenever I cook, I just make enough food for the next 3-4 days. There's your meal prep. Like, you know what I mean? You don't have to like get overwhelmed and try to think of breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 5 days. It's just too much. Plus, I don't even like to eat the same meal for 5 days. So cooking enough for 3, max 4 days is good enough because you could always like repurpose the meal on like that 4th day and make it something else. But anyways, I'm gonna show you guys how I prep my meal on the plate ahead of time. And I'll tell you guys why I like to do this. Okay, so one, as a busy mom, like when I put Kylo down for bed, I am so tired and I'm also starving because I prefer to eat dinner in peace after he goes to bed, which I know will change when he gets older, and that's okay. It's just the season in life that I'm in right now. I'm really enjoying having these like pockets of peace to myself. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just my culture and it's the way that I grew up, but I really cherish having dinner, like a nice, good, big dinner, and having that little peaceful time to myself. It's what I look forward to. So once he goes to bed, I like to have my food prepped, but I'm super hungry. So I have noticed in the past that sometimes I would go over my calories because I would wait until I'm like super hungry to make my plate. And by that time I'm like over serving myself, right? Like I'm putting maybe 1.5 cups of rice, maybe too much steak on the plate, because in that moment I'm not thinking straight. I'm just so hungry. You know what I mean? Whereas what I'm gonna do now is get my little food scale, which I love. I know, again, everyone has a different relationship with food. If you feel like a food scale would be triggering for you, I highly recommend staying away from it. There's just little tricks you can do instead. So maybe when you get your rice, instead of using a spoon to get your rice, use a measuring cup. It's just another form of a scoop, right? Like you can just look at it like that, and then that way you know you're having 1 cup without having to weigh it. Or maybe follow the palm of your hand for how much meat you put on your plate, etc., you know? But yeah, I am going to plate my dinner right now because that's gonna help me really stick to my portions. I'm gonna have a bowl. So on New Year's Day, my parents invited us over and they made steak, and there's leftover steak, but there's not that much left over. So I'm gonna take the little bit of steak that's left over, plus also have the chicken thighs that I already meal prepped and made, I think like 2 or 3 days ago. And I'm gonna combine that and have a little steak chicken bowl. This is where I'll go in my Yazio app and check what the calories is for this to see how much I should have. I'm also just taking out Kylo's dinner because I know once he gets home, he is going to be hungry. I also meal prepped some black beans, and I'm gonna share this with Kylo, so it's about that much. I'm telling you, if there's one tip you follow from this video, let it be to prep your, oh hell no. Let it be to meal prep your food ahead of time. That way you just have your portions already all cut out for you, and you are 1000% more likely to stick to your deficit and to lose weight way more. So I'm gonna let that sit out. That's another tip for leftovers too, and just for meal prepping, is take it out of the fridge ahead of time, because then when you go to warm it up, you're not gonna need to warm it up for as long, so then it's not gonna be like super overcooked. You know, sometimes with leftovers, if you pop it in the microwave, it's so cold from the fridge, you need to put it in for like 3 minutes, but then by that time the meat is like so overcooked, but you needed it for because it was so cold. Take it out of the fridge ahead of time, like an hour or two before, let it sit and get to like closer to room temperature so that it's not so cold, and then you don't need to warm it up for as much and it won't be super overcooked. So I really want to add volume to my meal, but I don't want to add calories. And this is like my biggest tip, is to have a salad on the side. I know that seems very like duh, Amy, but salads can really increase like the amount of food you're eating. Like when you look at your plate, you're like, wow, that's such a big plate with so much food on it. And that's because the salad half damn near took up half the plate. You know what I mean? So it can really increase that volume and make you fuller, obviously, but we don't need to make no boring salads around here. And today when I reheat that steak, I'm gonna put a little bit of chili powder on it and a little bit of chipotle sauce on it. So I'm gonna do like a salad that fits into like a burrito bowl Mexican vibe. So here's what I'm gonna do. Baby arugula, super, super flavorful. Like if you are tired of boring old romaine lettuce, I love me some romaine lettuce, but if you're tired of that and you're bored, baby arugula has such a nice flavor to it. So let's make a salad for my burrito bowl so we can increase the volume and keep us fuller. A good trick is to not cut all the way through, that way it still holds together. So to give this salad a little bit more of that Mexican burrito bowl vibe, I am going to add some corn, sprinkle some lime, black pepper, salt. So I just popped the corn in the microwave because it does need to be cooked, so I'll just let it cool afterwards. But I'm gonna add lime to this salad, a good amount. This is just some homemade salad dressing that I have that works usually for Greek salads, but I added that lime to it today so that it has a little bit more of that Mexican burrito flavor. But this is just vinegar, avocado oils, salt, black pepper, and oregano. A little bit of diced onion or red onion would be perfect for this, but I don't have any red onion right now. And that's it. Such an easy, I need to get a better spoon to do this, but I'm too lazy right now. Like, you can't tell me that that doesn't look incredible. And it's such an easy, low calorie way to add volume to your plate. Also, I just had to show you guys a really healthy, calorie, weight loss friendly snack idea that I actually came across at the grocery store the other day. So I love deli meat. Like, I'm Portuguese, we love our deli meat, but I've always struggled with the ingredients in deli meat, and this one is really good. Like, it's really not bad. And I love that it is raised without antibiotics. So this I got at the superstore for those of you who are Canadian, but if you're in the US, I'm sure you have a tons more options than even us Canadians do. That's why I was really excited to see this one, because not only is it raised without antibiotics, the ingredients are good too. So to find like everything you want in a food item is hard these days. It's either the ingredients are good, but maybe it's not raised without antibiotics, or it's raised without antibiotics, but there's seed oil or nitrates, I think it's called. So calories for this are amazing. It's only 60 calories for 3 slices. That means that it's 20 calories just for 1 slice and 12 grams of protein for 3 slices. I mean, I'm not good at math, honey, but I can do it real quick, right? Can I? 4, 8, 12. It is 4 grams of protein in 1 turkey slice. Like, that is amazing. So I've really been loving this because a lot of the times I'm not a big snacker, but because I don't like to eat lunch, I need like something in the middle of the day to keep me going. So I'll tend to snack on things just because Kylo goes to bed at 7. Like, before Kylo, I would eat dinner at like 4:30, you know? But now that I have to wait to eat dinner until 7, I want to have like little snacks. So this is such a high protein, low calorie snack, and it really does keep you super full. I love that the ingredients is just turkey, water, sea salt, white vinegar, potato starch, sugar, and spice extract. So it's really not bad ingredients at all, and they taste delish. So it's a good little just like pick me up. You know when you just need something to like nibble on? This is what you want to be nibbling on, okay? Something high protein, low calorie. Okay, let's do a grocery haul real quick while Kylo is watching some Mika. So I picked up some milk for both of us. I always like to get the grass-fed if possible, which it's usually possible. Most stores carry it. I do like to give Kylo buffalo milk, but I wasn't able to go to Healthy Planet. Like, I had to do my big grocery shopping, so whenever I just go to the regular grocery store, I just get regular cow's milk for him and me. I do always get the 2% for myself because it is less calories, although the fat in milk is really healthy for you, but I just, you know, want to cut out the calories a little bit since I am in a deficit. Bacon, y'all know I love my bacon. I'm never gonna stop. I like this brand. If you're Canadian, you shop at Superstore. I love this one because it's raised without antibiotics and it's decently affordable. Some of the other brands that are raised without antibiotics are super overpriced, so this one's pretty good. I got some more of that turkey breast because it's just such a good low calorie, high protein snack. Some cucumber because I want to make some salads. I still have some arugula left, so I didn't want to get more and then like waste it, you know? Then I picked these up because these are amazing. If you run a lot of errands or you go to work and you need some sort of bar to have on the go, this is really, really healthy because I love the ingredients. This one is even better than this one. This is the Lara bar. There's literally just 4 ingredients in it. So no seed oils, no artificial colors or dyes or preservatives or natural flavorings, which isn't really that natural. This one is my first time getting it, and the only ingredient here that I'm not a huge fan of is natural flavor, but I feel like it's one ingredient, not that that bad, you know? The other ingredients in here are amazing, but we'll go into those soon. But yeah, I really love these. You can check out the ingredients there. And these actually taste amazing. I used to eat these years ago and absolutely love them. This is the peanut butter chocolate chip one. So good. If you love peanut butter and chocolate, you're going to love these. Kylo loves these so much. It's literally just dates, peanuts, chocolate, and sea salt. That's it. And then while I was scrolling through the Instacart app, because I placed my grocery order on Instacart, I saw this brand, Naked Raw Fruit and Nut Bars. And I was like, let me give that a try since Kylo does love to snack on these sort of things as well. And yeah, this one is a lot smaller, which is nice. It's 130 calories for one bar. So I feel like that's very well portioned. But this one is definitely a little bit heftier. It's 210 for one bar. It's just a larger bar. You could always cut it in half. And they sell minis in this, which is nice. But yeah, this one is really good ingredients too. Dates, cashews, raisins, cocoa, and natural flavor. So outside of the natural flavor, which I'm not a huge fan of, but really you're not gonna die just from like one ingredient. It's still a way better option than a lot of other bars out there, let's be honest, because a lot of other bars have seed oils and so much sugar and all that crap. So got some peppercorns because I got to do some refills in my peppercorn jar. Love this seasoning so much. I'm not too picky with the ingredients and seasoning as long as it doesn't have MSG, just because it's really hard to find seasoning that doesn't have seed oil. I've cleared out like 95% of seed oil in all my kitchen. So I feel like this is the only thing that kind of gets the seed oil sneaks into. And it's just because if you're gonna find seasoning with no seed oil, it's gonna be so overpriced. Literally like $15, $20. It's insane. It's so overpriced, and I really don't think a little bit in some seasoning is gonna kill us, you know? You guys know that's my kind of approach to everything. It's just balance. But I have gotten rid of like 95% of seed oil in my house. So anyways, I put this on everything. It's so good. So got some eggs, the large pack, because I eat them, Kylo eats them, hubby eats them. So bananas, I'm glad that the person picked out greenish ones because I have a couple ripe ones already in the fridge. Some vanilla extract because I love putting this in my milk for my matchas. And then organic peanut butter. This is for Kylo. He loves this. Again, this is just one ingredient, dry roasted organic peanuts. That's something, if you guys have not made the switch to, I highly recommend just scanning through the ingredients in your grocery items that you buy. A lot of these things cause inflammation, making it harder for you to lose weight. And obviously that's just not healthy for the long run to have inflammation and gut problems. So you will thank yourself in about 20 to 30 years when you really clean up your kitchen and look through the ingredients and the products that you're actually buying. It really takes just a little bit of effort to flip the bottle around, look at the ingredient labels, see, do I know what this is? If it's a name you can't pronounce and something you don't know and you can't recognize, chances are you should not be eating it. So that's kind of like the rule of thumb that I follow. But the app Trash Panda is good for that. Not sponsored, but that is a good app that will scan through ingredients and tell you. Greek yogurt, love this brand because it is grass-fed and organic, and it doesn't have anything added. It's literally just plain yogurt, and you can just sweeten it. Kylo loves this. I sweeten it with banana for him or any sort of fruit. So you can kind of sweeten it on your own, because usually the ones at the store that are like strawberry flavored or vanilla flavored, it's usually flavoring. So just like a bunch of artificial crap, or they say natural flavor, it's really not natural, and usually a lot of sugar added. So I definitely recommend just getting plain yogurt and sweetening it yourself. Then I had to get some more cocoa powder. I love the Camino brand. I have heard a lot, which I didn't know in the past, that chocolate does have a lot of like heavy metals naturally in it, but there are brands that really do like a lot of testing to make sure that their chocolate doesn't have as much heavy metals in it. It's always gonna have some, but Camino is one of those brands that their chocolate is really low in heavy metals like lead and all that stuff. So I always stick with Camino. Absolutely love this. I'm actually gonna make Kylo some homemade little like 3-ingredient brownies. So I'll probably show that on my vlog channel. So definitely check that out. But yeah, it just feels good to like refresh my fridge with some healthy groceries. I feel like trying one of these, but really don't want to fit this into my deficit today because I already ate. All right. This matcha is everything. So I actually have some interesting updates to talk to you guys about. So it's January 29th today, and for the past like 2 weeks, my weight has been really stalled, and it was so frustrating. I was like, oh my God, I need to talk to them about this, because it can be so frustrating when your weight is stalled. And I'm like, why is it stalled? You know, like usually your weight doesn't stall at the beginning of your weight loss journey. And obviously this isn't technically the beginning, like I've lost over 45 pounds, but I had like a good 3 months off. So this is like the beginning of this weight loss journey, you know, part 2 of my weight loss journey. But something was definitely going on with me hormonally. So first I was ovulating, which anytime I ovulate, I always actually go up a pound, or my weight usually just stays the exact same, but I usually go up a pound. And then after I was ovulating, I don't know what was going on with my hormones, but usually my weight comes down after that, but it's like my weight just held on all the way up until I got my cycle. But then after I got my cycle, whew, it was like, finally, thank God, my weight drops. I'm actually gonna reference my app here. You guys know I use the scale that connects to the app, and it's so much easier to do, because actually during those 2 weeks when my weight stalled, I was getting so frustrated, and it felt like at the time I was like, oh my God, I haven't lost any weight in 2 weeks, like why? But at the time when I had that thought, I went to go look at my app to see my weight, and it actually had only been 9 days. So I was like, okay, Amy, like pump the brakes, like you're being a little dramatic. And then by that point I was like 3 days away from getting my period, so there was no way, you know, my weight was gonna drop after that. So then I was like, okay, now this makes sense. So that's why it goes to show you, like, it's actually really important to track your weight, to have something you can like reference and go back on, because sometimes when you're in the moment, you're like, oh my God, I haven't lost weight in like 2-3 weeks. And when you actually look at the data, you're like, oh, it's actually only been 10 days. I'm just being dramatic. So yeah, I actually really like having this tracker here. But anyway, so my last weigh-in with you guys, I think it was January 13th, 144.6 pounds. So I kept weighing myself, and I kept ranging in like the 145 pound range. And then finally I weighed myself on January 27th, and I weighed in at 143.2. I was shocked. So it goes to show you that's like a good almost 2 pound drop in a day. So just for some reason, my body was really holding on to water weight this cycle. Like I said, my body always holds on to a little bit of water weight, but usually just for a few days. This cycle, for some reason, my body was really holding on, but it was really helpful to just stick to my vitamins, stick to my workouts, just stick to my calorie deficit. And you guys saw me actually put in that armor colostrum in my matcha, everything. Oh, and there's actually something else I wanted to talk to you guys about, because the other day I kind of caught myself getting caught up in this. And even though, you know, I've been losing weight for a while, and it's like, you should know, sometimes you just get lost in the sauce, and you just like, you have to remind yourself of these things. So a lot of the times I find myself like, oh, I wish I lost more weight this week. Why didn't I lose more weight? So let's talk about having realistic expectations for how much weight you should lose every week. I feel like a lot of us want to see like, oh, a 2 pound loss in 1 week, or even like a 1.5 pound, right? You want to see that scale go down. Like, it gives you such a good feeling, because I mean, it feels like your hard work is paying off, right? But realistically, a good amount of weight to lose is 0.5 pound to 1 pound. So 0.5 to 1 is really a realistic amount for you to see your scale going down every week. If your scale is consistently, and I say consistently because let's say 1 week you only lose 0.2, okay, fine. Like, you don't need to feel like, oh my God, I have to change what I'm doing, something's wrong. But if you're noticing like every week for like a month straight, you're only losing 0.2 pounds or 0.3 or 0.4, yeah, that is pretty slow of a weight loss. So maybe there's something you can do to adjust. Unless you're comfortable with that, then that's okay, because there's nothing wrong with slow weight loss. Like, you're just gonna get to the finish line a little later, which is fine with that. But if you're not happy with that and you want a little bit of a faster weight loss progress, then definitely there's something you need to adjust. Maybe you need to get in more steps, be more active, so that you can have a larger calorie deficit. Or if you don't want to be more active, then maybe you just need to lower how much calories you're having. A lot of the times too, I noticed that for me, it's funny because I actually came across an Instagram reel about this the other day. This girl said the reason why you might not be losing weight is because of BLTs, and it's not the sandwich. She was saying bites, licks, and tastes. And yes, that is so accurate. Like, I've been there, done that. I'm kind of like noticing throughout the day, I'll just be like, oh, it doesn't matter. It's just a little bite of this, or a little taste of that, or a little lick of this. But yeah, it ends up being like an extra 100 calories at the end of the day. So you might need to check yourself on that and just reevaluate your weight loss plan if you're noticing your progress is too slow. But if you're losing 0.5 to a pound a week, that is very good, normal, realistic progress. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're losing more than a pound a week and you're not at a starting weight that is considered obese for your height. So for example, if someone has like over 150 pounds to lose, that's a large amount to lose. Technically, they're considered obese by weight standards. In that scenario, it's normal to lose like 2 to 3 pounds a week consistently. But for someone who's losing weight and let's say they're only only losing 20 to 30 pounds, like that's just what their goal is, and they're not considered obese by BMI standards. And I say by BMI standards because obviously you guys know, like at the end of the day, everyone's gonna have a different definition of like what is skinny, what is obese, what is, you know what I mean? So as long as you're happy with your body, that is all that matters, honey. But I'm just saying, based on like BMI standards, if you are not considered obese, but let's say you have 20 pounds to lose or something, if you're losing over a pound a week, it's too fast. It's too much. And I'll tell you why. A lot of the times that's gonna affect your metabolism, because that goes to show that your calorie deficit is too large. So that technically means you're under eating because you're just losing weight at too fast of a pace, which in my experience usually results in binge eating and gaining the weight back, which is just my experience. I know a couple of you commented saying that you actually agreed with me that that's the case for you too, but there was one or two of you that actually said it was had the opposite effect on you. Having that fast, quick weight loss actually motivated you more, which was interesting to me to hear that perspective, and that's pretty cool. It just goes to show you like everyone's mindset's gonna be different. But I will say the consensus in the comment section was that most of you guys agree that like having that quick, fast weight loss, it gave you that high at first, but then there's always this drop, right? Where all of a sudden you have to maintain that weight loss and you realize the calorie deficit is too low, you can't stick to it, and you end up gaining the weight back. So it's not sustainable. Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to kind of like regroup on that and talk about realistic expectations, because I find myself getting caught up in it too. Like sometimes I'm like, oh my God, why didn't I lose more? And then I look at the amount that I lost on my tracking thing, which again, just goes to show you it's so important to have it tracked. I always say this, look at the data, look at the facts, take your emotions out of the weight loss journey. Like this is not an emotional, even though it is an emotional journey, but you know what I mean? Sometimes I try to just take the emotions out of it and I just try to look at the journey from a scientific, analytical perspective. And then I'll go back and look and be like, oh, I lost 0.7. Yeah, that falls within the realistic range of, you know, half a pound to a pound a week. I wanted to mention to you guys to kind of circle back to what I was talking about earlier with how my weight always stalls when I ovulate, like always. And it's funny because before I was trying to conceive, I didn't notice that pattern. I actually always noticed like there was a time period where my weight would stall, but it wasn't around my cycle. Going to get a good walk in, and what that means for me today is to go in my basement and go on my treadmill. I officially moved my treadmill to my basement, which is just amazing. I loved having my treadmill upstairs because I really did have like a nice, huge, large window, so I had a nice view, but it didn't make sense because all of my other workout stuff is in the basement. That's what today's walk means because it is cold outside. Kylo is with my mom today. She's watching him while I work. So usually he's the one that like motivates me to get outside and like go for a walk, but these days he hasn't been wanting to go in the stroller. So usually our walks are just like chaotic. I call them chaotic mom walks, where I'm just like trying to like wrangle an active toddler in the streets of my neighborhood to make sure we all stay safe. I also wanted to say, not every workout needs to look like having a workout outfit on, putting on your workout shoes, gearing up to work out. Like sometimes you're just in your sweats. I'm not gonna put my sneakers on, I'm just gonna put my slides on. Why? Because first of all, there's a lot of debate about this, but research the facts, y'all. There are a lot of people that work out for years and years and years, way before our time, that work out with no shoes on. But especially on a treadmill, I'm just like, what's the difference between wearing slides and walking outside and wearing slides and walking in the treadmill? Like it's the same thing, I'm just walking. So yeah, sometimes that's just what a workout looks like. Like you don't have to feel that pressure of like, oh, if I want to work out, then I need to, you know, go put on this workout outfit and I need to go put on my sneakers. Sometimes by the time you get ready to work out, you're already like not in the mood anymore. Even if you're in your PJs, just get the workout in. Like a lot of the times I'm in my PJs and I'm in my living room just doing resistance bands workouts. So I don't know, I hope you guys know what I mean, but what I'm trying to basically say is sometimes it just means picking up your body, getting your body moving. Even if you're barefoot and in your PJs, just get your body moving. You know, I feel like enough people don't talk about that. It's like, just chill out with the expectations, you know? I've noticed that I'm way more likely to stick to something if there isn't as much pressure or as much expectations. So yeah, I'm gonna go do my little treadmill walk in my sweatpants right now. And I'm not putting on sneakers because I don't want to. Okay, before my workout, I'm actually a little hungry. So this right here is my jam. I actually showed a little bit of this in episode 1, but this is from a Portuguese bakery. The one in episode 1 was from the grocery store, but this is from a Portuguese bakery that my dad goes to. And he usually buys me like Portuguese buns from there and stuff like that. But one day he was like, do you want turkey? And I'm like, yes, sir, I want turkey, because it is one of the leanest proteins that you can have. So low calorie and so high protein. One slice that's thin like this is about 20 calories, 25 calories, and 4 grams of protein. Like that's insane to have that high amount of protein in such low amount of calories. win-win. This is one of my favorite snacks. Whether you're trying to lose weight or gain weight, this is just super high protein. I've been trying to eat more proteins, I kind of mentioned to you guys, but listen, I'm Portuguese. There's nothing I'm gonna enjoy snacking on more than meat and cheese. And I just love turkey. It's like one of the leanest, like I said. So I'm gonna snack on this and then just get a nice walk in. And while I'm walking on the treadmill, I'm gonna do some work on my phone. So kill two birds, one stone. Okay, I just took some progress pics because that's something I tend to forget, is to take photos. Because a lot of times I'm vlogging, I'm taking a lot of like video footage, but I'm like, girl, you haven't taken photos in like months. So I just put on like a workout outfit, took some photos. I actually keep an album on my phone called Weight Loss Progress 2023, which I'm gonna update now to /2024. But yeah, I just did that. So my bed is like not even properly made, but I feel like my worst insecurity is my arms, and I never want to like properly show them because I just feel like they're so chubby. Like that's where a lot of my weight gets held or stored. Plus I actually have KP on my arms too. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but it's like keratosis pilaris. I hope I'm getting this right, but based on the research that I've done, it's kind of like a buildup of like dead skin from like an overproduction of keratin or protein. I don't know like too much about it, but it could be a gluten intolerance. I don't know, but your girl is not giving up gluten, so let's just dead that. But I will say it runs in my family. Like my dad has it, my sister has it, and I have it. So it just is what it is. But I happen to have it on my arms, and then I also hate like how chubby my arms are. This is just me being vulnerable, talking about one of my insecurities that I normally never do. Like I normally just hide my arms on camera because like who wants to look at something they don't like about themselves? But I'm like, let me just share it because you know what? Maybe when I reach my goal weight, maybe I'll like my arms more, and just, well, I'm sure I'll love my arms more because it'll be 20-pound difference. But maybe we could do a side by side and a before and after. You know what's funny? I never want to do the before, right? Because I'm like, I don't like how they look. So why would I want to take photos and videos of something that I don't like how it looks, you know? But then when I do reach my goal weight and my arms slim down a bit, I'm sure they still won't be perfect. Nothing's ever perfect. But when they do slim down, then you're never gonna have that before footage. So this is me encouraging you, even if you don't like how you look right now, one, you gotta still love yourself. I still love myself. I just don't like how my arms look. Simple as that. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that I hate myself. But one, you gotta love yourself regardless. But two, even though you may not like how it looks on camera, just pop on that camera, open up your iPhone, just take the photo. Close your eyes if you have to, because when you reach your after, you're going to regret if you don't take your before. So let me show you guys my arms, okay? This is my arms, like me just not posing or anything. But honestly, can we give a shout out to my back? Can we give a shout out to that? This is not me sucking in, by the way, like this would be me sucking in. But can we give a shout out to that? Because I'm actually gonna roll back some footage here of what my back used to look like 2 months postpartum when I was like 100 and what was I don't even know. I think it was roughly 170 pounds, whereas right now I'm 143. I had rolls on my back, and now I pretty much have like none. I have like probably like the teeniest, like basically none. So shout out to my back progress right there. But yeah, this is my before of my arms. Well, not fully before because I'm in midway of my journey, but this is what my arms look like right now. And I just feel like they're like so chunky. Got these little chunky wonky arms. But yeah, it is what it is. There's gotta be people out there that relate. I know my sister can relate because we always talk to each other about that, like how we don't like how our arms look. But anyways, another thing I wanted to mention to you guys. So I like to make small goals and break down my journey into small goals. I don't know if I've talked about this before, but this is so helpful for me, especially at the beginning of my journey. Like let's say you have 40 pounds to lose. That number is very overwhelming, like 40 pounds. And after 10-pound loss, it can still feel like, oh my God, I'm so far away. Like, you know what I mean? You'll still feel like you're so far away from your finish line. So breaking it down into small goals feels so much more rewarding. It feels so much more realistic. So I have this note on my phone, which I've updated over time. Like the note is relevant to what my weight is right now. For example, I erased the previous goals. I started fresh for 2024. I kind of break it down into 5-pound goals because 5 pounds is such a smaller, more realistic, less overwhelming goal. So for me, I would love to hit 140 by February. So what that means is it could be by the beginning of February, could be middle of February, could be end of February. Doesn't matter, but just in the month of February, I would love to hit 140. So right now, like I told you guys, my last weigh-in, I was 143.2. So I got 3.2 more pounds to go before I hit that goal. And just like, that doesn't seem far away at all. That's not far away at all. 3 pounds, I can do that. And then it's like, after that, I only have 5 pounds before I reach my next goal. So it feels like I'm close to the, not finish line, but you know what I mean? It just, you have these small goals instead of something so large that just seems so far away. So this is kind of what I've set up here, but I definitely recommend that. Another thing that I like to do is set even smaller goals. So every every week I'll say to myself, okay, like what's my goal for the week? So for example, my last weigh-in was 143.2, and that was on the morning of my cheat meal. On Saturday, I had a cheat meal. So if I ask myself, what's my goal for this week? What would I like to see on the scale this week? And keep in mind, the weekly small goals, the ones I'm talking about right now, these ones are kind of flexible because you know, you might have an off week in the sense of maybe you're ovulating, maybe you ate something that upset your stomach and just has you bloated, maybe you're on your cycle. So these little weekly goals, you know, are very just like flexible. But the small goals that I set, like the 5 pound ones, those ones I like to really like motivate myself and stick to, because those are much more realistic. The weekly ones, like I said, you might just be having an off week, but I like to even do that just to give me something to really reach for that week. So for example, my goal this week, if my last weigh-in was 143.2, I would love to see this week 142 on that scale. It may not be 142.0, like it may not be flat, it might be 142.8 or 142.6, whatever, but I want to see that 142 on that scale this week. That's like my little mini weekly goal for the week. So this is just my reminder to you guys that even though you might have 20 pounds to lose or 30 pounds or 60 or 100 pounds, break it up into smaller goals. At the beginning of my journey, when I had like 60 plus pounds to lose, I did like 10-pound goals. But now that I only have 20-ish, 25 pounds to lose, I broke it into 5-pound goals. So break it up into smaller goals. It's gonna feel much less overwhelming and much more achievable. Y'all, if I'm not holding my baby, I'm holding my other baby. Sugar said, Kylo's not home, so you gotta hold me. It's the paw for me. Also, can we talk about how many times I've changed tops or just outfits today? But low-key, I changed because I didn't want to wear a bra anymore, and I can't wear no bra on camera with a white shirt, so I put on a black shirt. So yeah, now don't stare at my boobs now that I said that. My disdain for bras like needs to be studied. Okay, so I happen to have like nothing cooked for dinner tonight, and it's already 2:45 p.m. I could technically take out chicken, but it would only be defrosted in time by like probably 5 earliest, and I think that's even me being hopeful, maybe 5:30. And by that time, Kylo's gonna be home, he's gonna be hungry and want food. I don't wanna be like up cooking late, you know what I mean? So it's just gonna be one of those nights where there's nothing for dinner. Kylo has some food meal prep, so he'll be good, but mama needs some food. Like 2 days ago, I meal prepped mac and cheese for Kylo and my husband, and you guys would have seen that on my vlog channel, which I don't know if that went up yet, but that's like a good little thing I wanted to talk about. Is there's gonna be moments in your weight loss journey where maybe someone else is eating a different type of food, or maybe you're cooking a certain food and you're like, okay, this is not so calorie deficit friendly, should I eat it, blah, blah, blah. So I'll tell you guys what I did in that moment. For me, mac and cheese is not like my favorite food in the world anyways. Yes, it did look very delicious, but it's not even my favorite food anyways. So in that moment, I kind of had to use my logic and be like, okay, do I really want to use my calories on this? Because one, mac and cheese is not a very nutrient dense food. It's just a lot of carbs and not that much protein. So it's just not a nutrient dense food, and it's very calorie dense, meaning very high calorie for a small portion. If I were to have had that meal that night, my dinner would have been like a small portion of mac and cheese, and then like calories done, there's 700, you know what I mean? So it's like, who really wants to eat a dinner that small? Whereas I could just have a nice large dinner, like a dinner that looks like this size for the same amount of calories, that's way more nutrient dense, you know what I mean? So for in that moment, I personally did not have the mac and cheese for dinner. I just meal prepped it for my husband and Kylo, and they had it. But my sister came over that day and she made this delicious sun-dried tomato, like rice and chicken in the pot. And I was like, yeah, I'm definitely having that because it's way more nutrient dense and I can have a larger volume for the same amount of calories as the mac and cheese. But yes, I could have definitely had the mac and cheese. Like, this is not me saying mac and cheese is evil, you cannot eat mac and cheese if you're losing weight. It's just, for me, it's not even my favorite food. Whereas there's other foods where I'm like, oh, I am definitely making room for that in my deficit, even though it is not nutrient dense and it is very calorie dense. For example, y'all are gonna see, I'm gonna have some chocolate cake for dessert later. And that is a perfect example where that is one of my, like, I have a big sweet tooth. I am willing to sacrifice my calories for that and kind of budget my calories for that and save up for that. Could I have something way better for 250, 300 calories? Yes, but it is okay. It's gonna make me happy, and happiness matters too, not just what's on the scale. You know what I mean? So if you want that chocolate cake, if you want that mac and cheese, have it. You can fit it into your deficit. But what I'm trying to say is, just on that day, I was like, I'm gonna have something better for dinner because the mac and cheese looked delicious and I did have a little taste and it was fire, but I was like, I can have a way more nutrient dense meal than this. And I'm glad that I did, because I had a very high protein dinner that night. I still had like my rice and everything like that, and then I had a nice salad on the side, so just a larger volume. And the next day my weight dropped, so I was actually really happy the next morning when I saw that drop on the scale. I was like, okay, it was worth it to skip the mac and cheese. Another thing I could have done as well well is like have a small amount of mac and cheese, have a lot of the chicken, and then have a nice big salad on the side too. So that's an option too. So this is just me saying that if you have multiple people that live in your home, or maybe you're cooking a different meal for your husband or whatever, you can eat the same meal as them. Just change the portion, add a large salad on the side. Or if you decide, meh, I don't really want to waste my calories on that, then that's okay too. Like sometimes in your journey, there's just different decisions you're gonna have to make. So another example of that is like, let's say I want to order pizza one night. That's my cheat meal. But then someone also invites me to dinner the night before, but I really got my mind on that pizza for the next day. Then now I have to decide, do I have 2 cheat meals in a row, or like, do I really save it for that pizza? So then maybe when I go to the restaurant, maybe I sacrifice and I just still stick to my deficit instead of having 2 cheat meals. Do you know what I mean? So it can be very tempting in moments like this when I don't have anything for dinner to just be like, oh, I don't have anything for dinner. Let me just order some food. One, I've been really trying to stay away from ordering food. I think I've been ordering like probably once a month, not even that, in the last like 6 months. Really trying to just save a ton of money. Like I looked back at my bank statements and y'all, like you can easily spend $1,000 just from buying takeout. It is such an easy way to save money is to just avoid takeout. So yeah, this is an example of like, in this moment, I could easily say, oh, let me just order some food since I don't have anything, you know, made tonight or anything defrosted to cook for dinner. No, honey, because if you open that fridge, I guarantee there's food in it. You can put something together, okay? So this is what I'm gonna do. I have some naan bread in the fridge. We're gonna make some pizza and I'm probably gonna have a nice salad on the side with it. And it's gonna be delicious. Is it gonna be exactly what I want for dinner? Like I would have loved to have some chicken and I have some leftover of that sun-dried tomato rice, but the chicken's not gonna be defrosted in time and I'm still gonna make a yummy, healthy dinner that's calorie deficit friendly. So I love to prep it ahead of time. So I'm gonna do it now, but I'm not gonna like make it yet. I'm just gonna make the pizza and put it in the fridge. And then later on, I'll pop it in the air fryer. And that's it, that'll be my dinner. Okay, one last thing and then I promise I'm gonna stop running my mouth. The other thing too with ordering food when you're trying to lose weight is it can definitely still be done, but you truly never know exactly how much calories are in it unless the place that you're eating has calories on like their menu, or you can look it up or whatever. But even then, you still don't really truly know because it depends on the person that made it. Did they make the food the exact way that it was supposed to based on what the calories were calculated? Like, did they put 2 tablespoons of mayo, whereas the calories on the menu and the way they're supposed to actually make it is just 1 tablespoon? Did they put extra oil in the rice? That like, and it's not a big deal, don't get me wrong. And like, you could still eat out on a weight loss journey, but I personally don't recommend doing it frequently because I have done that in the past, not frequently, but like I've done that in the past where like I'll eat out maybe twice a week on a weight loss journey and I notice that I lose less weight that week. Like you're gonna lose more weight when you control your own portion size, when you control the way that you make the food. So that's another reason, honey, you're gonna get skinnier and get richer by avoiding getting takeout. I mean, what's better than being skinnier and richer? Let's be honest here. And just like that, you have a super quick, fast, easy lunch or dinner. And even though it's not cooked yet, when it comes time to like eat, literally just pop it in the air fryer. I do like 325 for about like 7-ish minutes. Every air fryer is probably gonna be different, but I definitely recommend cooking it in a lower heat, like 325. That way it won't get burnt before like the whole thing actually gets cooked through properly. And I'm telling you, you have your dinner done in like less than 10 minutes because you already prepped it. And I'm gonna make a nice salad right now, which by the way, this salad, the other day, I wanted to add volume to my meal, but I didn't want to add calories because I had already kind of maxed out my calories for that dinner, but I really wanted to add more volume. So this salad I'm about to show you is such a low calorie, almost non-existent calorie salad. Like literally, it's like pretty much 10 calorie salad without the dressing, but obviously you want to add a little bit of dressing, okay? Don't starve yourself here. No, but seriously. So once you add the dressing, which I just do a little drizzle of, it's like an under 50 calorie salad, but it adds so much micronutrients and adds so much volume. So let's make a little salad that I'll have on the side of this pizza. And there you have it, a gorgeous 20-calorie salad. Keep in mind the calories are heavily dependent on the portions of what you put in here. So for the olives, you'll notice I put very little amount. For the oil, I just did 4 sprays, which is almost nothing. So very dependent on that. So definitely keep the oil in the olives low, and this will be a very low calorie salad. You'll also notice that I skipped the cheese. I love cheese in my salad, but for days like this when I'm looking for a very low calorie way to add extra volume, I just skip the cheese. Okay, you guys have no idea what just happened. Like literally my air fryer just caught on fire. It was a whole thing, okay? I literally had to grab Kylo, go outside, but then I realized I could come inside, but I had to go upstairs because this whole floor was smoking. I didn't want him to breathe that in. Let this be a PSA to clean your air fryer, especially like the top of it. I clean my air fryer, but the top often goes unclean because it's like such a tricky area to clean. You have to like twist your neck up and look at it. And it was full of grease, and I guess it caught on fire, and it was like, no joke, it was literally one of the scariest moments of my life. But thank God that got resolved. Everything is a-okay. So food is ready, but I did have to do my pizza in the oven and not the air fryer. I've definitely learned my lesson. So if y'all haven't cleaned your air fryer in a hot minute, make sure you clean even the areas that you wouldn't think of cleaning. Anyways, my dinner looks so good. I want to get myself some nice little aesthetic clear salad bowls because I don't know, I think that would be cute. But let's just chit chat real quick about dessert. So I had my cheat meal on Saturday night. Today's Monday, and I had some of this cake, and I have a small piece left. No, I did not eat the whole cake myself, but I did eat like a good half of it. Not gonna lie to y'all. Not all in one day, but yeah. I had it yesterday for dessert too. But the great thing about it is you can fit it into your calorie deficit. So that's what I'm gonna do tonight. There's one piece left, and this is so good. If you guys are Canadian, then you know what this cake is right here. This is the McCain cake, and I just found out literally last week that you guys in the States or in the US do not have McCain cake. Mind blown. Like, what? I thought McCain cake was like a whole worldwide situation because that's just how amazing it is. It's everything. So I was really shocked to learn about that, but this just goes to show you, if you love something and you have just like this, what do you want to call it? Like everyone has their vice, right? For me, my vice is dessert. Like I love me some chocolate and I love desserts. So I'm not gonna compromise on that. I'm gonna still live my life, enjoy my life, and lose weight while doing it. I can eat some chocolate cake if I want to. I ate healthy for 80-90% of my day. I'm not gonna die if I eat some chocolate cake. You know what I mean? And you're still gonna lose weight, regardless of it being chocolate cake, regardless of what people want to say. When it comes to weight loss, it is just calorie deficit, calorie deficit, calorie deficit. I keep drilling that into you guys' minds because it is a scientific fact. This is not my opinion, this is a fact. So as long as you incorporate this and make room and budget for it, the same way you would budget to buy that Birkin bag, honey, I am budgeting for this chocolate cake, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm serious about my chocolate cake. Like, y'all can buy Birkin bags, I'm gonna buy this chocolate cake. No, I'm just messing around now, but seriously, you guys can save up your calories and eat whatever you want if you have that little vice. If you like coffees that are a little bit high calorie, budget for it. Life is too short. You can still lose weight and eat the stuff that you love. So I'm gonna eat me some chocolate cake later. Oh, this smells so good. I need to go eat because I just had like a traumatic night. I'm vlogging for my second channel, so I told the whole story over there, but it was a whole situation and that was legit super scary, but I am happy that everything is resolved now and I can go eat some dinner. Okay, so today is February 22nd and I have some updates for you guys. I had my blood work done in regards to my thyroid, which is a major update I have to share with you guys. And I want to share with you guys what the last week and a half has been, because tell me how I had 3 cheat days in the last week and a half. Because it was Valentine's Day and then it was family day. My family wanted to go out to dinner. So we just have a lot of catching up to do. So I think the last time we weighed in together on episode 2, it was February 3rd. I weighed 143 pounds. And then I did a weigh-in on February 10th and I was 142.4. And then my last weigh-in was February 17th and I weighed 142 pounds. So I am so close to hitting 140. I mentioned to you guys in my last episode that my goal by the end of February is to hit 140, but tell me how there's only like a week left in February. I don't think I'm gonna make it, y'all. No, but maybe I will. We will see, okay? That last weigh-in was 5 days ago. Let's hope in the last 5 days I've hit 141 and then by March 1st, I can hit the 140s. That's just like my goal. I like setting small little goals. I told you guys that last time, but we will weigh in 2 days. I'm gonna do a weigh-in to see what I lost this week and let's see how that goes, because like I said to you guys, I had 3 cheat days in the last week and a half and sometimes that just happens, but I'll definitely take accountability because, well, actually I only had 2 cheat days. So I had my usual cheat day. You guys know I shouldn't say cheat day, more like a cheat meal, because I don't make it a whole day thing. I just have usually like a meal, which is usually dinner. So I had my usual once a week cheat meal like I usually do on Saturday the 10th, and then 4 days later it was Valentine's Day. But I said to myself, I really didn't want to like have a full-on cheat meal for Valentine's Day. That was just like a decision I made. What I could have done was skip the cheat meal on Saturday and save it for Valentine's Day or whatever. Like you really can make whatever decision suits you, but this is just me showing you guys that you can be flexible with your weight loss journey. Like even though you have special events planned, you can decide what you want to do. You can decide if you want to make that a maintenance day, use that as a cheat meal, whatever, you know what I mean? So me and hubby decided to have an at-home date night once Kylo went to bed because we didn't have any help that day, like no daycare or anything. So once we had a nice little family day, it was actually really fun. Went to the dollar store, Kylo picked out some stickers, blah, blah, blah. I'm not gonna ramble. That was really fun. But then after, once we put Kylo to bed, we had a little cheat meal and ordered in. I decided not to go crazy, but I definitely ate more calories. So I ended up eating about roughly 2,000 calories that day. So it was kind of like a maintenance day, which honestly I was happy with. I was actually really happy that I didn't have a full cheat meal because a few days after that, February 19th, it was family day and my mom wanted to do like dinner with everyone. And then I was like, I could have definitely stuck to my deficit on that day, but I didn't feel like it. I was like, screw it. So this just goes to show you guys, you can have social events and choose what you want to do. Either make it a cheat meal or stick to your deficit. But I decided to make it a little cheat meal, y'all. I had some chicken wings and some fries. By the way, my Valentine's Day, we ordered jerk chicken wings with fries and oh my God, it was so good. And then for dessert, I just had a regular little chocolate, like small portions so that I didn't go overboard. But y'all, tell me how on family day dinner, I went a little ham. I had fried chicken wings with fries and I had this like big cookie with ice cream. Again, I should have taken a video so that I actually have context to show you guys, but it was fire. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is I'm very curious to see what I'm going to weigh on Saturday. So stay tuned for that. Let's hope that I lose some good weight this week, but I can't even be mad if I don't. Anyways, I had a good little workout. I'm about to do some self-care and take a nice shower. I feel like I really need it. Before I take my shower, let me update you guys on my blood work. So I had my blood work done to check up on my thyroid and I knew something was wrong. So in the last episode, I told you guys that the scale had stalled for 2 weeks, which that happens, right? That's not to say like, oh my God, alarm bells, something's wrong, but I knew something was wrong. Like I wasn't feeling my best. I started feeling like I needed to take a nap every day, which was just very strange. It kind of set off alarm bells in my head because I know what it's like when my thyroid is off. And I was like, my thyroid is off. I just knew it. So the last time me and my doctor had an appointment, like before this last one, my TSH had gone up to 1.3, which I wasn't happy about because your TSH is optimal when it's, I think 0.3 to 2.5 is optimal range. Actually, I should say is normal range, but optimal is like between 0.3 to under 1. So when I already saw my TSH was like 1.3, I wasn't really happy with it. Even my doctor wasn't too happy with it. She did say to me that everyone tends to have like that number that they personally feel feel really good at. And I've noticed for me, that number is when I'm slightly under 1 for my TSH. So she did decide to increase my medication a little bit. So by the way, I take desiccated thyroid, which is the natural thyroid version. A lot of people take like Synthroid, or there's different name brands, but that's like synthetic thyroid. Because I'm with a naturopath, they prescribe natural thyroid medication, which is still medication. Like you need to have it prescribed. I go to the pharmacy, pick it up, pay for it. It's still medication, but it is derived from pig's thyroid gland. So yes, I quite literally take a dried pig's thyroid gland every morning, but I'm happy with it because it is a natural alternative. And there's a lot of people that actually prefer the way they feel on the natural one. I think there's a lot of people that when they take the synthetic one, there's a lot of side effects. So anyways, one of the things with the natural one is they could only do like 30, 45, 60, like 15 increments, but my doctor wanted me to take 37 mg. So it was so awkward because I would have to cut my pill into 3s. Anyways, long story short, I didn't end up trying that short increase. I wanted to see if I could help my thyroid naturally by taking vitamin B supplements, because I had saw a biologist on TikTok who had said that thyroid disorders stem from vitamin B deficiencies. When your thyroid is off and you have hypothyroidism, it's because you're vitamin B deficient. And oftentimes you can get off your medication completely if you just take vitamin B. And I was skeptical of it, but really like happy to hear that, because I would love to one day not need to take medication, which this all pertains to weight loss, by the way, because if you don't know, hypothyroidism really affects your energy levels, but not just that, your metabolism. So what I'm trying to say is it made sense that my weight was stalling for those 2 weeks. I thought that was strange because like I said, I was right in the beginning of the second part of my weight loss journey. And usually in the beginning of your weight loss journey, like the weight just be coming off like flies. And then in the middle to end, you know, sometimes you have those stalling periods. Your metabolism really slows down when your thyroid is off. Also makes sense why years ago I used to have such hard time losing weight because my thyroid was totally off. But now I know I have hypothyroidism, take my medication, and everything is good, right? So anyways, I tried to take the vitamin B to see if I could supplement that so I wouldn't need that 37 mg. I would just stick to my 30 mg and then take the vitamin B to like give my thyroid the rest of what it needed. I tried to do that and it didn't work, y'all. I had such high hopes, but it did not work. Why? Because I was still feeling so low energy. I actually was feeling worse than I was feeling before. And I'm like, what is happening? Like, what is going on? So on January 30th, I went and had my blood work done to check up on my thyroid, because at this point I had known like something is up. I'm actually starting to feel worse than I even was a month or 2 prior to that. My blood work came back and my TSH was in at 3.1. So it had gone up even more. Like I told you guys before, it was 1 point something. It had gone up even more to 3.1. And I don't know what it's like in the US, but in Canada, regular family doctors consider normal to be up to 4.5, which is mind-blowing to me. If you do research, anything over 2.5 is not optimal. You're going to feel trash, but regular doctors consider 4.5 okay. And actually a family doctor even told me that they don't give you medication unless you're over 10, which is mind-blowing to me. Mind-blowing, because at 3 TSH, I felt pretty shitty, like a 5 out of 10. And then I remember when I had a 4 point something TSH, I literally felt like a 2 out of 10. Like I was drowsy all day. I'm talking like this all day. So what would a 10 feel like? Like what would I have to really go through to be prescribed medication from my traditional doctor? Anyways, that's why I work with a naturopath, because they truly see the importance and they do deeper, more updated research on these things. 3.1, it was no wonder why I wanted to take naps throughout the day. I was feeling very low energy. Every day I was constantly saying, oh, I'm so tired, and yawning. So that made a lot of sense. So right away I had a video call appointment with my doctor and she prescribed me 45 mg now. So that just, I know it does well for me, but at the same time I understand my doctor didn't want to increase it too quickly before, just in case, you know, something would happen, because I had that in the past where my medication was too high and I had to go in the hospital because I literally couldn't breathe. So I understand she was being cautious. So now I am on 45 mg and hallelujah, y'all. Let me tell you, I feel like myself again. Like I don't go throughout the day saying I'm so tired anymore. Like I just feel good. I have energy. Even after I put Kylo to bed, like I'm tired after I put Kylo to bed. Every mom will tell you that at the end of the day, you are like donezo, right? But I still feel like decent, like pretty good, which is shocking. Before, oh my God, after I put Kylo to bed, I literally was on the couch like dead, like literally dead, where now I still have a little bit of energy after. So I feel amazing on the 45 mg. Anyways, I feel so much better. And I noticed my weight loss is on a good track now. And that's because my thyroid thyroid is in a healthy place now, I'm assuming, at least based on how I feel. I will have my blood work done in a few weeks from now, probably around May, to see how I am on this 45 mg. So anyways, this was very long-winded, but I wanted to give you guys an update on my thyroid because there's more to weight loss than just calorie deficit, although that's like the basic scientific equation of weight loss. Sometimes there's other underlying health issues. Anyways, I feel back on track and I am ready to go, ready to burn this weight and lose this fat, honey, because my thyroid is on point now. But yeah, I just feel really good. My energy levels are good. Also later, I'm gonna show you guys what supplements I'm currently taking because there is something that has helped my mood tremendously, like tremendously. We'll talk about it later. Let's make some homemade bread. So I have been doing this for a couple months now. I honestly rarely buy bread from the store anymore unless I'm just in a rush and I know I won't be able to make homemade bread that week. But yeah, I've been making it myself just because of how much more minimal the ingredients are. Almost every bread at the store literally has so much added to it, like seed oils, gums, fillers, preservatives, and it's so unnecessary because bread only needs a couple ingredients: milk, flour, eggs, butter. Like it really only needs a couple ingredients. So I'm gonna be making cinnamon raisin bread, which I've shown you guys before, but that's kind of just like my staple that I make because, fun fact, I'm actually not a bread person, but my husband and Kylo love bread and they love cinnamon raisins. So that's just why I always make this one. But I actually have this milk right here, expires today. So I was like, oh, let me make some bread with it so that I can use it before it goes bad. I've really been trying to be very mindful to not waste food. I mean, just in general, it's important, but especially in this economy, like we ain't playing. I'm not wasting no milk. I'm gonna make some bread. Also, I've mentioned this before, but cutting out seed oils completely has helped me so much. I noticed that I lose weight at a better pace now, except when my thyroid was kind of messed up. But just in general, seed oils can cause a lot of inflammation and gut health. So if you're noticing you don't feel good, like you feel sluggish, it's harder for you to lose weight, try cutting out seed oils. They cause inflammation. They're really bad for your health and for your gut. So this is one way that, like I said, I like to make my own homemade bread because almost all bread at the grocery stores has seed oils. And if it doesn't have seed oils, then it has gums in it and just so much crap. So the less ingredients you consume, the healthier your body's gonna be, the better you're gonna feel, the easier it's gonna be for you to lose weight. So let's make some homemade bread. By the way, that chunkiness you guys see, that is not because the milk is going bad. That's because this is actually buffalo milk, which is very high in fat, which is amazing for you. So that is actually just all of the fat and cream that has risen to the top. Guys, tell me how I go to get the raisins. Why is there literally like 10 raisins left in my fridge? I'm so done. So I placed a quick grocery order and let's hope the raisins come in time. I think you need to put the raisins after the first kneading cycle, and then after that you can kind of put them in whenever you want. So that's the part that's important. You don't want to put the raisins in right away, but after that you can put them in whenever. Well, not whenever because the bread will start baking. Yeah. The machine basically tells you when to put it in. It'll beep and then you put it into the little fruit and nut dispenser thing. So let's just hope your girl has some raisins that come in time. If the raisins don't come in time, then I'm thinking of just mixing the raisins with some dates that I have in the fridge and just improvising. We'll see. How easy was that? Like, I'm telling you, making your own bread at home, it might sound intimidating, but as long as you have a bread maker machine, it is so easy. The hardest part of the whole process is remembering to take out the milk, the egg, and the butter ahead of time so that it cools down to room temperature, because that is important. I've tried in the past, like if I was rushing and I forgot to take it out ahead of time, I've tried to put cold butter in there or cold milk. It messes up the recipe. Like, I'm telling you, making homemade bread is so easy as long as you just invest in a good bread maker, a really good one. This one is amazing, like amazing, amazing, amazing. It's very easy to use. You put all your ingredients in at once. It'll tell you when to put in the raisins. It does cost a decent amount because it is such a good machine. I think it's like $200, $300. I don't know how much it is US or Canadian, but it's right around there. So it's a little bit of an investment. But to me, if you know you're gonna like stop buying bread at the store, this is way cheaper to make your own bread. It sounds like it's a lot of money at first, but if you're buying constantly $6, $10 bags of bread, especially the healthy ones, you can make way healthier ones at home cheaper. Okay, as y'all can tell, I still have not showered, and that's because I have to cook some dinner. So I'm like, you know what, let me cook dinner first and then I will shower. And I'm just waiting for these groceries to get delivered because I'm missing one thing and I feel like it's important: onion. Like, this recipe I'm actually gonna make today, I'm gonna cook some dinner for you guys. We're gonna make Portuguese style chicken chicken in the oven. Like, I don't know, this is just how I grew up eating it, how my mom used to make it, and it's so nostalgic, it's so tasty and so yummy. So we're gonna make Portuguese chicken today. But while I wait for the groceries, I wanted to pop on the camera because I always get asked this question, is like, when do I plan on having baby number 2? Especially because right now I'm obviously trying to hit my goal weight. So let's talk about baby number 2. Now that I have one, I kind of feel like once you have one baby, you're never gonna have just one baby again. So if there's any baby that I would rather a larger age gap between, it would be between the first and the second, because I feel like you're never gonna get that time with your first again. Whereas when you add a second, it's like adding a third is like, I don't know if you guys know what I mean. Maybe I'm not explaining myself properly, but what I'm trying to say is I'm enjoying this time with just me and Kylo, because I know I'm never gonna have just one again with just me and him. So I don't mind if there's a larger age gap, whereas I know between my next 2, I would love a closer age gap. Anyways, all this to say, I really want to lose all my weight and reach my goal weight before I try for baby number 2. A lot of people have asked me in the comment section, like, you know, why would you do that? Because what's the point? You're just gonna like get pregnant again and then gain weight, obviously, and have to do it all over again. The reason why is because at my next pregnancy, I would love to weigh less than I did with Kylo, because obviously if you weigh less, it'll be less heavy and everything. But honestly, I can't complain. I had an amazing pregnancy with Kylo, but I've just always wanted to hit my goal weight, and I just feel like now's the time. Like, why wait? Do you know what I mean? Especially because I am gonna have a larger age gap between Kylo and my second. For my next pregnancy, I would love to be leaner and smaller, and then that way my starting weight for my next weight loss journey won't be so high. When I got pregnant with Kylo, I was 150 pounds, and at that point I already like wanted to lose 20 pounds. So then I gained the weight from him. So it's like I had the weight that I gained from pregnancy plus the weight that I had already wanted to lose prior to even getting pregnant to lose. So I had such a large amount. During my pregnancy with Kylo, I gained 38 pounds. So having 38 pounds gained plus already wanting to lose a good 20 to 25 before that, it was just so much piled up. For example, I hit my pre-pregnancy weight with Kylo by the time he was already like a year-ish old. So it's really the fact that I had weight before I even got pregnant piled up that I'm still here trying to lose weight. You know what I mean? I feel like your postpartum weight loss journey is definitely easier when you start at the weight that you like versus when you're already at a weight where you want to lose weight and it's just like all piled up. So I would rather it just not be all piled up. But in terms of exactly when I'm gonna try for baby number 2, I don't know exactly, but I'm definitely just starting to like ponder it because Kylo is turning 2 in May. But I definitely want to hit this goal weight first, and that's why this journey is, by the way, the bread machine maker is going. I hope that's not annoying you guys, but that's why this journey is so important to me, because I'm putting myself first before I have a second. So I just would really love to hit my goal weight by like July, but I feel like that's a close call. It's probably going to be closer to August, but I feel like if I stick to it, especially summer's coming up, and whenever summer and spring is here, like I be getting a good 15,000 steps a day. Because with Kylo, I remembered I wanted to lose the weight first, and I was losing a little bit of weight. I actually weighed like 160 at one point, and I had went down to 150 before getting pregnant with Kylo, but the baby fever just took over, and I was like, oh, screw it, I'll just lose the weight after. So here I am. So definitely stick along with my journey to see if I can hit this goal weight by August 2024. I accidentally hit the button on Kylo's, let me not press it again, Kylo's little school bus that was sitting on the counter with my tripod. But anyways, I put the like raisins that I had, the like 10 little raisins that I had in the little thing, because I realized that it's actually automatic. So you just put the raisins in there and it'll open when the bread machine's ready for it. So I just put it in there and I'm like, oh my God, I just realized right now that the bread has started baking.
Come aboard.
Can you shut up? So this bread is gonna have like 10 raisins in it. So I should have put some dates in there. I didn't know that I didn't have like that much time left. Anyways, this bread is gonna have like a good 10 raisins, 1 per slice. Okay, so let's cook Portuguese style chicken. When it comes to like specific food from specific cultures, people get real like, that's not how you do it. My mom does it this way. Oh, my grandma does it. Listen, y'all, everybody does it differently, okay? But this is just the Portuguese chicken that I grew up with that my mom makes in the oven. It's just like Portuguese style chicken, because the main ingredient here is the pimento paste, which is caldo pimenta. If you guys are Portuguese, then you know what caldo pimenta is. It is a staple. It's basically just pepper paste. I'm trying to think where you guys can get it, but in Canada, like they have this at the grocery store in the international food aisle. So if you guys are in the States, I would just go to the international food aisle at the grocery store, see if they have this. If they don't, then try to hit up a European bakery in your area, or more specifically a Portuguese bakery in your area to see if they have this. So yeah, this is like the main ingredient that just gives it that Portuguese taste. One more thing, this is not the most weight loss friendly in the way because you're using bone-in chicken. Obviously, ideally, I like to do boneless, skinless because that is the lowest fat. And you could totally do this with boneless, skinless chicken thighs, but it's just like the way my mom traditionally makes it is with chicken with the bone and the skin, and it's to die for. So I definitely just make room in my deficit for it. Like I said, it's a little bit higher calories, so what I will do is just have a little bit less rice and have like more of a salad with it, but I make the room for it. It's not like crazy or anything, but you guys know bone in and skin on chicken is just higher, so I'm making it work because it just tastes so damn good. First thing you need is a glass dish. I like to use glass because it's completely non-toxic. I don't like to use non-stick, so glass is a great option for this. I'm actually gonna start preheating my oven to roast on 450. So the amount of water that you put in, it's going to really depend on like the size of your dish. Basically, you don't want the liquid to be too high where it's covering the chicken because then your chicken won't get browned. So I always just eyeball this. This is okay for now. I'll probably need to add a little bit more and I'll just add as I go. Once I add the chicken, I'll see where the liquid lays. This is an extra large spoon. It is not an actual tablespoon, so keep this in mind. I'm using 2 large spoons of pimento paste. And honestly, I think I'm gonna do 2.5. Hella garlic. This is where I would add chopped onions. I love big chunks of onions because then as it cooks at the end of the meal, you can just have a bunch of onions on the side of your dish. But the groceries still haven't gotten delivered yet. So once they do, I'll chop it up and add it after. A little bit more. Who am I kidding? I still put onion powder, even though I'm gonna put chopped onions, still put onion powder. This is just butter. You don't need to worry about it being melted because it's going to melt after. I'm not gonna add too much. I'm not trying to make it too hefty. Any white wine that you have will do. I don't measure this, I just kind of, some nice little pour. Some beer. Usually just about half of the beer. And that's why you don't want to add too much water at first because you're still going to add beer and wine. So there's going to be more liquid. And like I said, you don't want the liquid to cover the chicken. Mix everything up. Not my label being jaggedy. Salt. You have to put a decent amount of salt because you have to remember all that water you put. I know this is weird, but I always give it the little sniff test to see if it needs more salt or pepper. This is fire, but maybe just a little bit of more pepper. And this is your marinade, or muy, as we like to call it in Portuguese. And then just put in your chicken. Like I said, you can put whatever chicken you want, but the bone in and skin in is gonna be the most tasty for this dish. I'm using little chicken wings because my mom does that all the time and I love it. It just gives me nostalgic vibes. Give it a good mix. Groceries are here, just in time. Add in your chopped onions now. As you can see, I usually actually do bigger chunks than this, but yeah, just chunks of onion. And if you want to take this dish up a notch, you can add in some potatoes in here and you'll have some boiled potatoes with it. Get the onions all in there. As you can see, the liquid is not covering the chicken. You have some pieces where it's covering it slightly, like right there, but that's okay because when it cooks in the oven, the liquid's gonna go down a little bit. So this is how it's supposed to look. You got about like 80% of the chicken not covered with liquid. All right, in the oven it goes. Okay, now let's make some rice. Last time I made this dish, I actually sauteed garlic and onion with some of the caldo pimenta, the pimento paste, and then did basmati rice, and that was so good. It turned out like a very Portuguese style red rice, and it was just really good. But traditionally, like when my mom makes this meal, she pairs it with just plain white rice. Well, plain-ish, like she adds butter, garlic, and onion, and it just, ooh, it's so savory and good. This Portuguese chicken does pair the best with some white rice. So I feel like today I'm gonna make some white rice, but a little nice spin on white rice. We are gonna saute some garlic and onion in butter and it's gonna be fire. But obviously, y'all know I'm on a calorie deficit. I'm not gonna put too much butter, but a little bit is not gonna kill, especially when you break it into like different servings. It's barely gonna add anything. So this is something I didn't realize you could do with your Instant Pot. I usually just use this for rice. It's simple as that. But my sister-in-law, my husband's sister, is actually the one that showed me you can saute saute in this as well before you do the cooking. And I'm like, wow, that is fire. So all I'm gonna do is add in a little bit of butter, just a little bit. What is this, like roughly a tablespoon? And you wanna press the saute function. It's gonna get nice and hot. Drop that in there. Add in your onion as soon as the butter starts bubbling. Garlic. I added just a tiny bit more butter. So you definitely want to let that sit and kind of brown up a bit. And then once it browns up, we will add the rice. Whew, it is sizzling, y'all. Now when it's like halfway sauteed, now you want to add in your rice, because now you're going to toast your rice. It's going to get nice and like sauteed and toasty, and it just adds such a nice flavor profile to it. Don't want to let it burn, so you want to constantly check the bottom. Once that's been toasting for like 2 to 3 minutes-ish, you can add in your water. I did 1.5 cups of rice, so I'm doing 2 cups of water. That's just how I like it, because I am not a fan of like very moist rice. I kind of like drier rice that's really separated, and you know. Add in your salt, black pepper, just a little bit of this, not a lot. So now you want to put the lid on, seal it, and then now is when you will press the rice, and that's it. It'll do its thing and cook the rice. Okay, chicken has been in the oven for about 20 minutes, so now you're just gonna stir it around, flip it over, then put it in for another 15. I'm not even supposed to be having matcha this late. It's 12:40 right now, but I just had to. Because 1, I was craving it, and 2, I realized I haven't eaten since 9 a.m. and I'm really hungry, and I don't really like want to make anything. So this will be like my snack/lunch, because this is like a good 200 calories. Okay, now we're gonna switch it to broil. I'm actually gonna add a tiny bit of water, because I usually like when it's a little bit more liquidy than this. A little bit, mix it all up. All right, flip your chicken over. And now you're gonna switch the oven over to broil and let it get browned for about 5-ish minutes. Whenever I do this part, I just keep a close eye on the chicken because I don't want it to burn. That is what I'm talking about right there. So now I'm just gonna flip it over. And then I will put it on broil for another 5 minutes so the other side can get brown. All done. Look how good that looks. We have Portuguese style chicken, and I'll show you guys later how it looks plated when I eat it for dinner. Let's check out how this rice turned out. You have some white rice, but it just has that nice flavor profile since you sauteed the garlic and onion and toasted the rice. It literally smells incredible. This right here is the best part. All of those onions. I'll just put it right in the center, and then take some of that sauce, get right over your rice. And then later for dinner, I will also put some pico de gallo on the side, or any sort of salad would be good with it. Okay, so I finally took my shower and I feel so good right now. But I wanted to show you guys what supplements I take on a daily basis. I've kind of narrowed it down now. I used to take a ton because me and my naturopath were working together to see like what was working for me versus what wasn't. But let me tell you, there's been a new addition, and this right here is amazing for your mood. This is ashwagandha, and I was taking ashwagandha in combination with inositol last summer, and I was feeling amazing. So I mentioned to you guys before, I think in one of my vlogs, that in general, I just always thought that I was like a moody person, which I am probably a moody person. It's probably my personality, but I was just super moody all the time. And it's crazy because you kind of claim these things as like your personality trait, right? But then you realize, no, maybe something's just off with my hormones. Anyways, I started taking inositol and ashwagandha, and my moods were so much better. And I also noticed that my period symptoms had almost completely gone away. So every time, like a week before my period, I would get the biggest mood swings, like that that whole week before my period, I would be the worst person to deal with, so impatient, so easily irritated, just on the edge. And I always thought that was normal. And then my naturopath was like, no, that ain't normal. So I started inositol and ashwagandha. But then me and my naturopath were trying to see like what I could take away from the supplements that I was taking so that I didn't have to take so many without sacrificing obviously how good I felt, just to play around and see what worked, what I needed and what I really didn't need. So I took away ashwagandha and I stuck with my inositol, and it was good for about a month or so. And then I started noticing that I was getting those mood swings again before my period, and just in general that I was a little bit more easily irritated. Then it clicked to me that it's because I took away my ashwagandha. So I realized that I need this. Like I cannot survive without this in terms of for my mood. So this also helps with your sleep as well. Honestly, I take magnesium glycinate for my sleep. This is like the biggest thing that helps your sleep. I take 3 of these every single night before bed specifically. I realized I was taking them before in the morning, and I used to think that wasn't a big deal, but apparently there's a lot of research that taking the right vitamins at the right time makes a big difference. So if you're taking a vitamin that's for energy at night, you're not getting the full benefits from it. And if you're taking something for sleep in the morning, you're not getting the full benefits. It's going to make you slightly sleepy. Not that it like makes you sleepy, but you're not gonna get that deep sleep the way that you would if you took it at night, like right before bed. So ashwagandha for my mood, major key. I've been taking 1 of these a day. Magnesium glycinate, 3 of these right before bed. And I have been taking my advanced B complex because there's a lot of research that shows that B vitamin really supports your thyroid. It wasn't enough for me to not need a rise in my medication. I thought I would be able to take this plus the 30 mg and not need an increase in my medication, but it wasn't enough for me. I still needed an increase in my medication. But regardless, this does still support your thyroid. My doctor did say that the good thing with vitamin B is that it's water soluble. I don't know if I pronounce that. So meaning if you're taking more than you need, you'll just pee it out. Your body takes what it needs and then gets rid of the rest. But she did say to me that I don't need to be taking 3 a day. 2 a day is fine because 3 is what the bottle suggests. And then my vitamin D, oh my God, I've talked about this so much. I feel like I don't even want to repeat myself, but this is just like everything. Before I had Kylo, I realized that I was very vitamin D sufficient. Again, some of the symptoms we experience, we just think that it's normal and we kind of just classify them as normal, but they're not normal. So I noticed that I was losing extreme amounts of hair. That also had to do with my thyroid, granted, because at that point I didn't have my hypothyroidism diagnosed. So granted, that also has to do with your thyroid, but I also found out that I was vitamin D deficient, and I got on my vitamin D drops, and literally I would lose so much less hair every time I had a shower. Like before I was losing clumps of hair, and then after taking this for about a week, I started noticing after my shower I would just lose small bits of hair. So it is not normal to be losing large chunks of hair. That means you need to increase your fats. It could be that you're vitamin D deficient, could be that you're vitamin B deficient, could be that you have a thyroid issue. There's so many things, but for me it was definitely my vitamin D, and this helps so much with your energy and your mood throughout the winter. Like throughout the winter you can feel very depressed, and that's because you're not getting that sun that you normally do in the summer. So I always take this. I take about 3,000 to 4,000 IU a day, but I do take these drops just once a week, so I don't have to take the drops every single day. I'll take about 35-ish drops 1 day a week. Then you guys know I love my colostrum. I've been taking this for my immune system just to really help to support my immune system, especially right now with everyone getting sick around me. Let me tell y'all, my husband and Kylo both got sick, and I got by with just a very slight stuffy nose, and I definitely owe it all to this, plus the B Keeper's Natural Propolis has been everything for my immune system, especially for those of you who have like little ones that are, you know, in daycare and you don't want them to be bringing germs home all the time. You want to start working on building their immune system. So I've been giving this to Kylo as well, and I've been giving him the Propolis spray as well. They have one for kids. Propolis is really cool because it's basically what bees use to put on the outside of their beehive to keep germs out. So it's very beneficial, super high in zinc, antioxidants, just amazing for you. This colostrum is incredible because it's grass-fed and they source it from leftover colostrum. So I love that. They're not taking colostrum from baby cows, and it's from small farms in the US. So absolutely love just this brand in general. This isn't sponsored, by the way, but I do have a discount to the Armra. I'll leave it down below, and I will leave the link to the Bee Propolis down below. But I totally ran out 2 days ago on the Beekeeper's Natural Propolis, so I definitely need to re-up on that. But I'll take these almost every single day, both of those. And then there's been some buzz around this Apparently this tea is supposed to be really good for weight loss. This is the yerba. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but this is something new for me that I'm gonna try and just see how it goes. It's apparently supposed to really help support your metabolism, and it's supposed to really help with energy levels. So I'm always down to try something new that everyone is buzzing about. So let's see how this goes. I did try it once the other day and it tastes really, really good. And I am not a tea drinker. I actually hate drinking tea. So I was like, oh, do I really have to have the tea version? But apparently the tea is like really nice, good and concentrated. But it actually tastes nice. It's very light taste, very light and floral. Like, I don't know, I really, really liked it. It wasn't strong or like bitter or anything like that. Just super light tea. It was really nice with a little bit of honey. But yeah, this right here, I cannot live without. Like, I used to take vitamins for granted before. And this is another thing. A lot of the times people will just take a multivitamin because they're like, oh, all in one, let me just take that. But the problem with multivitamins is that they are all in one and they can't fit too much of one vitamin in one little cap. So you end up getting a small amount of a bunch of different vitamins and it really doesn't benefit you much. Whereas you can pinpoint what your issues are and then pinpoint which vitamins help those specific issues that you have, and you will be way better off doing that. When I used to take a multivitamin, I didn't notice too much of a difference, so it never motivated me to continue on it. But now that I take vitamins for specific things, as soon as I started doing this and then I got kind of lazy and stopped for a few days, oh my God, I felt the effects. Like, you will feel the changes that taking specific vitamins for specific things and how much it helps you. And when you feel those changes, you will not want to stop taking your vitamins. I'm addicted to my vitamins in the sense where like, I don't want to go without them because I know that my body needs them for optimal health. You know what I mean? Unless you have a perfect diet where you're like hitting the nail on the head with every little thing that you need in terms of like sourcing it from foods, which I feel like is extremely hard anyway. I mean, especially ashwagandha is an herb, so it's like you're not really gonna get that from food. So I need my vitamins. One little raisin on top. Even though there was only 10 in the whole loaf. If you plan on making your own homemade bread, I definitely recommend investing in your own bread knife. It has to specifically be a bread knife because other knives, you're not gonna get that good cut. Nobody likes the ends of a loaf. So I always do a nice skinny cut so I'm not wasting bread. One little raisin. Look at that. Perfection. And it was incredibly easy. Like, I love this bread maker machine. I'm actually gonna cut a few slices and give it to my mom when she drops Kylo off today. So as you guys can see, I did not lose any weight. Wah, wah, wah. Like, I definitely was disappointed this morning, but at the same time, kind of expected it. I gotta like own my part in the situation. I actually forgot to mention to you guys before. I also went to breakfast with my family last Saturday and I decided to not like watch my calories on that breakfast and just like not overeat, but like just eat what I want. So all in all, I had 3 cheat meals and 1 maintenance day in the last week and a half. So obviously I expected it, but I just wanna like show you guys like weight loss journeys are not linear. You're not gonna have like this smooth sail journey, or sorry, I should go like this. You're not gonna have this like smooth sailing journey of just like perfectly losing weight every single week. There's gonna be social events that come up. By the way, you can lose weight still while attending social events. That's not what I'm saying. You just have to make your decision. You can totally go out to dinner with your family, go out to breakfast, but just kind of like watch your calories and look at the menu ahead of time and stuff like that. But I just chose not to because I just didn't want to. I'm not a social person. I really don't have that many social events going on. So when I do have a social event, I feel like just enjoying myself and not watching the calories. But if I was the type of person that had a lot of social events all the time, then yeah, just totally watch your calories and you can still lose weight. But like I said, I just chose not to. So I definitely own my part in that. I had a good 3 cheat meals, like I said, and 1 maintenance day. So I expected it, but I am looking forward to finally hitting the 130s. Like, I am 2 pounds away from being out of the 140s. I want to leave the 140s behind me because let me tell you, I have not been in the 130s in forever. Like, I think a good 2 years. years. I don't even know. I'd have to look through my phone because I have a whole weight loss progress album on my phone. I'd have to look through my phone and see. I cannot remember the last time I was in the 130s. So I'm really looking forward to it. So definitely stay tuned for the next episode to see the progress and when I reach that. I'm just excited to be out of the 140s. And also I want to just say, today is the Saturday. I normally have my cheat dinner every Saturday just because it works for me and like my life. And you guys know I've told you I have a cheat meal once a week, but just because I had those 3 cheat meals and 1 maintenance day a week and a half ago and I didn't lose any weight this week, doesn't mean I'm gonna skip my cheat meal today. Let's be clear about that. And why? Because this is not about like punishment and reward. Like, oh, didn't lose weight this week, let me punish myself, gotta skip my cheat meal because I had too many the other week, or yay, I lost some weight this week, let's have a cheat. No, like the whole weight loss journey should never, ever, ever be about a reward and punishment system. It's not about that. I'm gonna still have my cheat dinner tonight because the last time I had a cheat meal was on Monday, which was 5 days ago. Why would I not have my usual cheat dinner tonight? You know what I mean? Like, it isn't about punishing yourself. I'm gonna still have one tonight because if I don't have one tonight, then when would be the next time that I would be next Saturday. And by that point, it would be 2 weeks without a cheat meal. And I've explained to you guys that for me personally, if I go too long trying to stick to my deficit and be too strict, it actually has the opposite effect on me and I end up binging. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a little update on how my weigh-in went this morning. Definitely was a little disappointed, but we move and we continue. And yeah, stay tuned for episode 4 to see the progress. Good morning, you guys. We're at the grocery store because your girl has like no food in her fridge. Literally this morning for breakfast, I had my matcha and then I got hungry like 2 hours later. I had chicken. Like, yo, why did I literally eat chicken for breakfast? I could have had a bar, which is good. That's why I love those Lara bars. They're really good to keep in your pantry. That's actually what I had yesterday because I was like really on the go with Kylo, so I just grabbed it and go. But since the Lara bar is all natural and I love that, but it's heavily like carb and sugar focused, I didn't want to start my day off with that. So I decided, why not just eat chicken? Like, who says you can't eat chicken for breakfast? Not this girl. And you know what's funny? Like, I was actually on the way here while I was driving, I was coming to that realization that old Amy would have never understood like the nutrition side of things. Like, why should you start your breakfast off with something like eggs and bacon or chicken versus a bar? Like, why? Old Amy would have never even cared about that or thought about that or even understood like the education behind that. New Amy knows now that starting your day off with like heavy amount of like sugar and carbs, not that you can't have sugar and carbs for breakfast, but only without balancing out with a nice healthy fat and protein is so bad for your brain and for your glucose levels. Like, you're just gonna spike your blood sugar levels right away in the morning and it's gonna affect your energy levels throughout the day. So it's so important to have a very high protein, high fat breakfast. And another thing too is I used to never care about those things. Like, I used to never eat for nutrition. I used to only eat for pleasure, which, hands up, like, this girl still eats for pleasure. I'm not saying that I don't. I definitely eat things sometimes that have 0 nutrition in it and it is all pleasure. Like, you guys know that. I love me some chocolate cake and I love me some chocolate and all that good stuff. But the way I am now, like, there's times where I simply only am eating something because I'm like, this is purely nutrition focused. Like, did I want to eat chicken for breakfast this morning? No, it kind of felt a bit weird to eat chicken for breakfast, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm okay with eating a meal that is simply, this is so awkward, someone's walking by me right now. Please don't look at me, please don't look at me. And he did, he looked at me. Holla. By the way, why am I coming to the busiest Canadian grocery store? I'm here at Canadian Superstore, which is like one of my favorite grocery stores because they have like really affordable prices, but they're like super huge, so they have so much variety. But it's like one of the busiest grocery stores and I'm hoping to get some vlog content for you guys in the grocery store. And I don't want to be stared at while I'm like in the aisle. So I am praying to the Lords that people don't stare at me or that like conveniently the aisle that I'm in is clear when I want to vlog. Pray for me. Anyways, what I was saying is there are definitely times and meals now where I simply eat them for nutrition. Like, I am eating this because I know that it is going to be good for me. It's going to be a great start to my day. It's going to make me feel good and it's not for pleasure. It's crazy because I never used to be like that. So it just goes to show you, like, your whole weight loss journey, it's more than just the number on the scale. It's like noticing mental changes in yourself and also noticing changes in your relationship with food, changes with your body image. Like, it's just way more than just how you look. It's like mental too. Like, you'll really see some positive changes in yourself. I'm really liking this new version of myself, y'all. I call this new version of myself Wellness Amy. She's a wellness queen. But y'all, tell me how the time right now, it's 11:15. And as soon as I pulled up to the grocery store, a bunch of like high school kids started swarming the grocery store. I feel like that old lady that doesn't want to be around teenagers. Not that I have anything against teenagers, okay? I'm not trying to be offensive here. Just saying, you know, y'all tend to get a little rowdy. And I'm a grandmama now. I'm not actually a grandmama, I'm a mama, but you know what I'm saying. I'm an old lady now. I want my peaceful grocery trip. So I don't know why I came at this time. I should have got here at like 9 a.m. Anyways, let's go grocery shopping for my dry fridge because we got to do a restock. And later we'll do like organizing, like we'll organize my fridge and restock everything and I'll go through a full haul. Also, I want to give you guys an update on my weight. Things have been going good. I've been feeling good. I saw the comments on my last video. You guys were hyping me up, telling me that I'd be looking skinny these days. Like, I really feel like a skinny legend these days and a skinny queen, okay? Because you guys told me, like, you see the difference. And honestly, I see it too. Like, low-key, I was editing a vlog for my second channel the other day and I was like, bro, my face, like I see a huge difference in my face alone. It's insane. Just how different your face can look when you're like 10 pounds heavier, 20 pounds heavier, 30 pounds heavier. It's wild. But also I am very close to hitting the 130s. I told you guys in the last episode 3 that I was so antsy to get into the 130s because I haven't been there in forever. So I will let you guys know how the weight sitch has been going and give you guys an update on what I currently weigh right now. I always do a weigh-in at the end of every episode just to keep you guys constantly in the loop. But yeah, we'll go through that later on when I get home. Let's hit this grocery store up because let's hope these teenagers are gone. Okay, it's time for y'all to leave. School time, classes in session. I'll see you guys in the grocery store. Hopefully I can vlog in there. Let's hope no one stares at me. What is this? Avocados is something I don't stress about if it's not organic because of how thick the skin is. Okay, this wasn't on my grocery list, but I'm gonna pick this up because I should have some, but also Kylo loves broccoli. Okay, Kylo loves grapes, and I try my best to, you know what, I'm gonna get these ones for him. Try my best to get organic when I get grapes. One of my favorite high protein snacks I've shared with you guys. Turkey slices. Very minimal ingredients. Okay, I'm actually gonna get these ones because they're a little cheaper and still really good ingredients. I have one slice left of my favorite bacon. Oh, we have more. Favorite bacon because it is raised without antibiotics. Easiest way to flavor up your rice, get some broth. I usually do veggie just because I don't know, I actually like the flavor of it better, but they are sold out of the veggies, so I'm just gonna grab some chicken. And this isn't 100% clean, but it's difficult to find ones that are. Oh, actually this one doesn't have seed oil in it. Yay, I'm so happy because I was gonna say the ones that are extremely expensive. $8. This is actually a really good brand, but what is that, like 4 times the price? A little guilty pleasure sweet treat for my cheat meal. I'd be getting the no name, y'all, because it's just cheaper. I pick and choose my battles. Not trying to have a $500 grocery bill here. My little dessert treat. Okay, I am in the natural food section and this section just tickles my fancy. I just found this pancake mix, which I do. Ma'am, can we not? I'm not gonna get it because I prefer the Bob's Red Mill protein pancake mix, but just to show you guys, I love PC Organics. If you look at the ingredients, it's only enriched flour, cane sugar, baking powder, and salt. That's it. No gums added, no artificial like crap in there, no seed oils. So this is a really good pancake mix. This is like my favorite aisle. I get a kick out of it. Literally my favorite aisle. Organic Greek yogurt, love this one. It's plain and pure and nothing added. Also, I wanted to say I always come to the grocery store with a list on my phone because the easiest way to overspend and to waste food and throw out groceries in a week from now is to come to the grocery store, you buy a bunch of things because you think you're gonna cook it or certain things look good, and you end up wasting food and wasting money. So definitely make a list. Honestly, honestly, this is literally me all the time at the grocery store trying to see if I can find myself and Kylo like cool little snacks, more for Kylo, like to give him snacks that don't have crap in it. But obviously there's like seed oil in here, just a bunch of stuff added. So this one in particular has palm fruit oil, although it's not that bad, this one, I will say. I'll give that to them. But yeah, it's just hard to find like 100% clean snacks, but it's not impossible. But really quickly before someone else comes in the aisle, I will say something that's just so easy to do is pick up the package, read the ingredients, read the calories, read the macros, and just find the best option. It might take a little bit more time, but eventually you'll find your favorites and then you won't have to do that every time, you know? Something like this, for example, like I don't like giving these things to Kylo often, obviously, but I just feel like it's like fun for kids, you know, like to give them a little Oreo. This one is a way better option than Oreos. Only thing in here is organic cane sugar, enriched flour, cocoa powder, sea salt, baking soda, organic flavor, and organic soy lecithin and vanilla extract. They do have palm oil in here, so not perfect at all, but way better of an option than Oreos. I'm still not gonna buy it because I would like to find something a little cleaner. Am I becoming an almond mom? But yeah, such a way better option than Oreos, for example. So just turn the package around, look at what's in Oreos, and y'all, I promise you're not gonna buy them anymore. I mean, you might buy them sometimes once in a blue moon, but not a lot of the time. Okay, I'm back home from the grocery store. Let's do a quick little haul, and also not me changing into my PJs the second I got home. Like, is anyone else like that? I just need to get comfy. Next step is gonna be taking this makeup off, but I wanted to share with you guys what I got so I can put it in the fridge. I'm gonna zoom through this so that it's not too long-winded, but I got some cheese. Yes, I did get the no-name brand. Obviously, grass-fed cheese is ideal, but it's not something that's as easily accessible here. They have some organic cheese at Superstore, I will say that, but they do have some grass-fed cheese at Whole Foods and Organic Garage, and I think at Healthy Planet, but it's extremely pricey, like extremely. And honestly, this is where like me picking my battles comes in, because if I am like extremely perfect with everything, the grocery bill is gonna come out to like $500, and we ain't doing that. So my total came up to $253 Canadian, which is why I shop at Superstore, because if this was Whole Foods or somewhere else or Sobeys, this would be like close to $400. Anyways, $253 Canadian, and I actually had $70 on my Optimum points card just from saving up my points. So I only ended up paying, I think it was like 170 something, whatever. So it was pretty good. Anyways, Kylo loves these cheese strings. I do like to get him the organic Macedo cheese strings. Those are only 4 ingredients, they're organic, but he's not a fan of them. I don't know why. They're definitely less creamy. These are like a little softer, but the ingredients in this are not bad. They actually use annatto, which is a natural colorant, so they don't use artificial food coloring. So honestly, these are not bad. Got some high protein snacks. So I absolutely love these, just again, because of how high protein they are. If you are gonna snack on something and you're kind of hungry and you just wanna like grab something quickly, protein is a great option. So I love these. Turkey and then pepperoni, both raised without antibiotics. The ingredients are amazing in both of these. Picked up some tomatoes and some sweet peppers just to have, most likely make some pico de gallo. You guys know I love that. And then also sweet peppers. Kylo and my husband love those as like a side. Bananas. Kylo loves bananas. Peanut butter for Kylo. If you're gonna get peanut butter, definitely recommend getting one that is 1 ingredient, but bonus if you can get one that is in a glass jar. Why? Because when they make smooth peanut butter, it is heated up in the factory, and then once it's heated up, they pour it into the jar. So if you're getting a plastic jar, all of that heat sits in the plastic jar, and then what happens? All of those chemicals from the plastic, the PFAS and everything like that, soak into that peanut butter. So I definitely recommend getting the one in the glass jar if you can swing it. If you can't, it's not a big deal. You know, like I said, we choose our battles here. Cilantro, green onion, eggs. I needed eggs. Eggs are something that's kind of hard because there's not that many. Like the best eggs you can buy are pasture raised. Those are just gonna be the best, but there isn't really any pasture raised available eggs at the store except for Healthy Planet. Healthy Planet is the only store I've been able to find pasture raised eggs. So I just had to grab the free run, a little sweet treat. I'm actually gonna pop these in the fridge because they're getting soft. So these need to go in the fridge, but a little sweet treat for my cheat day or my cheat meal on Saturday. I'm gonna make some cookies. I didn't pick up that much fruit because we already have apples, pears, and oranges in the fridge. So my thing is I don't overbuy. I'm not gonna go to the store and be like, ooh, peaches, ooh, pears, ooh, apples, and just grab a million different things. Before I leave the house, I look at my fridge, what do I need? And then I make a list, and when I go to the grocery store, I stick to that list. Sometimes I might buy 1 or 2 things that aren't on the list, but that's about it, because that's how, again, like I mentioned before, you will spend money and waste food. I already have oranges, apples, and pears in the fridge, and like I said, I have bananas. We don't really need that much more fruit. So I literally only picked up grapes because I know we will eat this. Kylo loves grapes. It's also just a great snack. This was something that wasn't on my list, but I saw it, and the other day we were at a restaurant and they served broccoli on the side of the chicken, and Kylo loved it. So discovered that he loves broccoli, so I will be steaming this for him for the side of his dinners. Got some avocados. For fruits and veggies, I try my best to get organic everything, but it can be hard. Again, it just turns up to be super expensive. For avocados, the skin is so thick that I'm not that worried about it not being organic, so I kind of pick and choose my battles again here. These don't have the cleanest ingredients, but it is very difficult to find naan bread that has no seed oil. These are great for making pizzas. So I actually eventually want to make my own homemade naan bread, so that would be a fun thing to try. I'm gonna look up how to. Picked up some bacon, some chicken and beef you guys saw. I got my favorite hot sauce, Tabasco and Sriracha, love that, and then diced chipotle peppers. This is perfect to use as marinade for meats, and I love the one in the glass jar. It's just obviously healthier than the one in the aluminum jar. The one in the aluminum jar also has seed oil, and this one does not have seed oil. So this one's just healthier than the other one that because the same brand sells the same thing but in an aluminum jar. Greek yogurt. This is also great as sour cream. So if you're having like a nice burrito bowl, pop some of that on your bowl, and it literally tastes like sour cream, but you're getting extra protein. You guys saw I picked up the chicken broth. I ended up getting that pancake mix because I wasn't able to find the Bob's Red Mills protein pancake mix. Lately, it's been hard to find that one. I don't know if they're discontinuing it. I hope they're not, but I've been checking for months now, and I'll find it here and there, but I think I've only found it once in the last few months. So I ended up just getting this pancake mix, and maybe I'll just put my own protein powder scoop in there. Then I got a bunch of little snacks for Kylo. Overall, I prefer to feed Kylo like whole foods, right? Like if he's gonna eat something, I like to just cook him whole foods. If he's gonna snack on something, I like it to be something that's a whole food, like cheese or fruit or whatever. But these are just so fun for kids and they love it. Like Kylo just loves, like he always comes to me and says, "Pup, puff." He's trying to say puffs. He enjoys it. It also keeps him busy. Like if we're at the store or we're out on a walk or something, just give him his puffs and he'll sit there and just like, you know, have a little blast. And if he's watching TV and I really need to work, sometimes even when he's watching TV, he wants me to like sit with him or he constantly wants me. But if I need just 30 minutes to myself to work, if you give him some puffs in his little snack cup, he's happy, you know? So these ones do not have perfect ingredients. Some of them still have seed oil, but at least it is organic seed oil. So that does help a little bit, but obviously seed oil is still not that good. Again, it's not something I give to him like all the time, constantly, and that isn't the bulk of his diet, so a little bit is not gonna be really bad, but it's just the best you can kind of find. It's definitely a way better option than a lot of other brands out there. So these are by Baby Gourmet Organic and Earth's Best. He also loves the little Sesame Street characters that are on this bag. And then I got these little ones because these are good when you're like on the go. You just grab a pouch rather than having to fill up a cup or something. These ones are by the Little Bellies brand. So I got these ones for him. And then I got these Made Good cookies for him. He loves chocolate chip cookies and I'd rather give him something with better ingredients. You guys know I love the shorts ones for Kylo. I think I mentioned that in my second channel. I love the one by the brand Cookie It Up. That one has the cleanest ingredients, no seed oil, like is as clean as it gets. Love that one for him. But it's only at Organic Garage or Metro. Like you can't find it everywhere. So this is your like second best by Made Good. The ingredients are still really good and he does love these. There's only 9 grams of sugar in 4 cookies and I never give him 4 cookies, I always give him 1. So he's barely gonna get like 2 grams of sugar when you give him 1 cookie. So it's such a better option than giving him something like an Oreo or Chips Ahoy or something. So love buying these for him. Oh, and then I grabbed some milk. So let me put away these groceries before, you know, they get too warm. And then let's do some cooking. But today's cooking, y'all, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I am tired, so we're gonna do something quick. I'll show you guys what I do when I just want like a quick snappy dinner. Okay, I have been making this rice lately that has just been hitting the spot. It is so simple, but it just adds something to your white rice. It's so good. So basically it is making your white rice with coconut milk. Obviously coconut milk is very high in calories. So when you make rice, you're obviously using water. So it's not adding any calories. But now if you use coconut milk, it's 160 calories for 1/3 of a cup. So it does add a lot of calories now. But what I do is I obviously don't use a ton. I like to mix it with water. So mixing the coconut milk with water helps a lot, or you can get light coconut milk. I think I'm gonna do that next time, but oh my God, it just adds such a nice different flavor profile, and then pair it with your favorite like meat, and then that alone tastes so good. Just a very simple meal, but because it's packed with flavor, it just hits. So let's make some super simple coconut white rice. So I am gonna season the beef right now, but what makes this dinner specifically so quick and easy is the fact that there is minimal chopping and we're using beef strips. So it's only gonna need to cook for like under 5 minutes, because I personally like when my steak is a little like medium rare. Even if you like it well done, it'll take like 6 to 7 minutes. I won't even need 5 for mine. So this entire meal is only gonna take me 15 minutes to make. Like so fast and so easy, and minimal chopping is huge for me, because what's so tedious sometimes about making dinner for me and what takes the longest is like having to chop so many different ingredients and blah, 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 you know? So the fact that there's no chopping in this, I'm just gonna make some beef, rice is in the rice cooker, and we're gonna serve it with some smashed avocado. Very, very minimal chopping. Dinner done in under 15 minutes. So let's season this beef. Okay, I'm so bummed because I just realized I don't have any avocado, and that's what makes this meal so easy, because like I said, the rice is fast, the beef cooks in 5 minutes, and then you don't have to really chop anything. You don't have to make a salad, you don't have to make pico de gallo, you don't have to make any sort of side. All you literally have to do is smash an avocado, add a squeeze of lime, plop it on the top. You can even put a plop of Greek yogurt, and bam, like you have your dinner under 15 minutes. But my avocados that I bought today are not ripe, and I don't know how I did not realize that. I guess I thought I had a ripe one left in the fridge. So now I'm trying to think of another easy option that I can do that requires minimal chopping. Like ideally I would love some pico de gallo with this and some guac and all that, but I just don't have the energy right now, y'all. I'm so tired. I still have some other work to do. Kylo's gonna be home in an hour, and I would like to be able to like sit down and rest for a second before he gets home. So here is my idea for something super fast. I'm gonna take these cucumbers I bought today, chop this, and we're not gonna need a cutting board or anything. It's gonna take 2 seconds for me to chop it. I'm gonna add some feta, some oil, some salt. You'll see. Let's make a quick little like under 1 minute salad or side. Like I always like to have some sort of green or veggie, like something fresh. So let's do it. There you have it. I'm actually gonna taste some now. Perfect. Needs a little bit more salt. I feel like I sound so lazy, like saying, oh, I don't want to do no chopping or anything like that. But man, sometimes you just want dinner done in under 10 minutes, but you want like a fresh dinner. Like typically if you want something done in under 10 minutes, you're like doing something frozen, like a frozen pizza or frozen chicken, popping it in the oven, like something like ultra lazy, which is fine too. But if you want like a fresh dinner, like a home cooked dinner under 10 to 15 minutes, here you go. And even like sometimes after Kylo goes to bed, I sit down to eat dinner and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot to make like some sort of salad on the side or veggie. This took me 1 minute. You could just quickly chop it up. You know what I mean? I probably sound lazy, y'all, but sometimes you just want fresh home cooked meal, but you don't want to do all the work that comes along with it. Okay, let's talk about my weigh-in. So I think the last weigh-in I did with you guys was February 24th, and I weighed in at 142.4. Then on March 7th, I hopped on the scale and I was so happy to see this 141 flat, but it doesn't end there, y'all. Then a few days ago on March 15th, I hopped on the scale and the scale was 140.0. So just 140 flat, which I was so happy to see because I'm actually getting, like, today is what? March 18th, and I hopped on the scale this morning too and it was 140 flat. So I was really shocked to see that because I'm actually expecting to get my period any day now, and usually, like, when I'm expecting my period, obviously the scale goes up a pound or two. So the fact that it's been 140, I just know once I finish my cycle, I'm gonna hit the 130s. And you guys know I have been dying to hit the 130s. Like, I'm on the brink. Okay, I could taste it. I'm just dying to get in there because I don't think I was even using this app when I was in the 130s before. So I would need to go through my, I used to log it on my phone in my notes. I need to go through that and find out what, like, year and month was the last time I weighed 130 because I genuinely cannot remember. So I am so excited to finally be so close to the 130s. So definitely stay tuned for the next episode. Continue following along with me on this journey so we can do this together and watch me hit the 130s and then eventually the 120s so I can hit this goal. Oh, also, I actually forgot to mention, I went out with my sister on her birthday for March 11th. And like I said, I did my weigh-in March 15th and I still dropped a pound, which I hit, like I said, 140 flat. So I had a cheat meal on March 9th, Saturday, like I usually do. And then I had another cheat meal when I went out for my sister's birthday on the 11th. And it just goes to show you can still lose weight even though you have cheat meals here and there. Now, I usually don't do 2 cheat meals a week, but I was going out for my sister's birthday. I don't really have any other, like, events coming up in March. So I knew for the rest of March, I'd be able to stick to my usual 1 cheat meal a week. So it wouldn't be a big deal. But yeah, that just goes to show you, I'm just very big, and I always tell you guys, you can enjoy yourself throughout your weight loss journey. Just definitely don't overdo it. Because if you overdo it, you're gonna eat back the calories from your deficit. And then at the end of the week, your total won't be in a deficit anymore. So definitely don't overdo it. You can still have fun. I'm actually gonna show you guys what we ate. We went to Chop Steakhouse and it was so good. Amazing. They had the most amazing, like, street corn. And what else did we have? This, like, goat cheese dip. I had a nice steak. It was fire. So yeah, definitely stay tuned and keep following along with me on this journey to watch me hit 130 pounds and then watch me hit eventually my goal of 120 pounds. So it is April 3rd and this is episode 5 of my weight loss journey. I realized the other day that in episode 1, I did like a before clip showing you guys what my body was at that time, which was January like 7th, I think. I can't even remember, but regardless, it was like the first week of January. It was after the holidays. And I thought to myself, you know what, since it's episode 5, we're in April. It's been January, February, March, April, like 4 months now. Let's do an updated after footage of what my body looks now. And I think I've lost how much weight? Almost 10 pounds, I don't know. But I'm gonna show you guys towards the end of the video. We will do a weight update, a weigh-in, and also like an update on how my body looks now in compared to the footage of when it did in January. Okay, it is so dark today, but I wanted to sit down and chat with you guys about my workouts because I have been loving the Copilot app. This is not sponsored by them at all, but I've just been loving the Copilot app. Like, it's so nice to have someone plan my workouts for me. I don't need to think about it. It's just already done. It's also nice to just have like my trainer at my fingertips. Again, this is not sponsored. I did work with them before. I have like a 14-day free trial. I'll leave my link in the description box for you guys, but yeah, that's been amazing. So I feel really good after my workout, but a lot of you guys have been asking questions about like what my activity level is, like what my workout routine is. And I realized that I never actually did a sit down chat with you guys, like explaining what I do for workouts and everything. And this is something I talked to my Copilot trainer about, is I personally prefer shorter workouts. Old Amy used to like force myself to work out for an hour, and then what would happen is I would just stop working out. And then I kind of realized I prefer the method of like less pressure. And to me, doing a quick 10 to 15 minute workout, I noticed I worked out more. And not only do I work out more, I have been working out consistently for what, like 3 or 4 years now. Literally straight 3 to 4 years working out consistently. Obviously here or there, like being inconsistent for maybe a week or two. And before that, I would literally work out for a few weeks and then stop completely and never work out again for a few months. And that's because I was forcing myself to do these long ass, like 1 hour workouts. And like I said, it just created so much pressure. Especially now that I'm a mom, I'm just like, I don't get that much free time and I don't want to dedicate a whole hour of my free time to sweating my ass off. I just do not want to. So yeah, the 10 to 15 minute workouts are a win for me, but in those 10 to 15 minute workouts, I tend to do like full body workouts and weightlifting, and then I get a lot of steps. Like, I don't know if you guys realize this, but when you're a mom, you're literally on your feet all day long. I will say kudos to Kylo because he helps me out with that. Before I had Kylo, I would only get like 5,000 steps a day, but now that I have him, in the summer and spring, I get like a good 15,000 steps a day because we go on multiple walks, then we go to the park, then we go to the splash pad, then we go in the backyard and walk around and run around, then I'm like on my feet cooking and cleaning all day. Like, he keeps me going. So in the winter, I tend to get around 10,000 steps. And then in the spring and summer, it's like a good 15,000, some days even like 17,000. It's insane. This is the thing with working out. I think a lot of people ask the question, what is the best workout? And there is no best workout. The best workout is the workout that you can stick to. And what that means is it doesn't matter if someone tells you, oh, running is the best, or oh, weightlifting is the best. If you do it and you don't like it, you're not gonna stick to it. So what's the point? The best workout is the workout that gets your body moving, that you enjoy and you can see yourself doing for the rest of your life. If you love taking a walk every morning and you can see yourself doing that for the rest of your life, that is the best workout for you. If you love running and you can see yourself doing that every day for the rest of your life, or multiple times a week for the rest of your life, that's the best workout for you. Do you know what I mean? You have to find what you enjoy, because if you enjoy it, then you're more likely to stick to it, and then you're gonna be consistent and keep it up for the rest of your life. That's what's most important. I think when it comes to like weight loss and fitness, it's so easy to just have like a narrow perspective and think of like, I wanna lose weight now, so what's the best workout to do right now? But you shouldn't. You should shift your mind to think of like longevity. So shift your mind to think of what's the best for the rest of my life, right? Like, you don't want to just lose weight and be healthy right now. You want to do this for the rest of your life. Like, you want to be healthy for the rest of your life, right? So what is something that you can do that is sustainable for the rest of your life? Like, that's where your mind should kind of like be. And that's something I had to shift a few years ago. Like, before that, I was very much just like thinking in the now, like, how can I lose weight quick and fast now? But now I'm just like, no, I just want to be a whole different person. That's another thing I had to like really engrave in my mind too, is you can be whoever you want to be. I used to say to myself, like, this might seem kind of corny, but I used to like see certain girls on Instagram or even in person, and they would just be like fit, they would love working out, and they would just be healthy. And I would look at those type of girls and be like, oh, like I would love to be that girl, you know? Would love to be that like fit, healthy girl. And then one day it hit me, like literally one day it just hit me like a ton of bricks. And I was like, so be that. You can be who you want to be. Like, you can write your own story. You can be who you want to be, whoever that is. But what's to stop you? So eventually it clicked to me, if I want to be that girl, I can be that girl. So I started thinking like that girl, started acting like that girl, started doing things that I know every day would get me to my goal. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if this makes sense, but I don't think I've ever like admitted that out loud, because sometimes you think like you're the only one that looks at other people and just finds such inspiration, but you're not. Everybody finds inspiration in people, and just know you can be that girl. You are that girl, honey. But I lost my train of thought, but y'all, how cute is my little braid today? I didn't know what to do with my hair, so I'm like, I'm just putting this in a braid. Oh, update. It is April 3rd, so we just had Easter. We celebrated on April 1st, the Monday, because my sister was off that day, so we just celebrated on Easter Monday instead of Easter Sunday. Y'all, I had all the foods. It was so good. I'm a little bloated right now, but I had all the foods and it was amazing. But I wanted to share with you guys that when it comes to like leftovers from family dinners, I don't play, okay? Because I'm like, I don't want to cook for the rest of the week, so I'm taking all the leftovers. And old Amy used to be like, oh, no, I don't want to take that food because then I'm gonna like eat it all and gain weight. But I don't think that way anymore, because now I know that I can still eat that food. I just have to portion control it and fit it into my deficit. You know what I mean? So usually what I do after a family holiday is the next day I stay in maintenance. Like I don't even like count my calories the next day. I just enjoy myself and enjoy the leftovers. Don't worry about portions or whatever. But obviously after that, so for example, today, like yesterday I had the leftovers, didn't care, didn't like portion it out or anything. But today is April 3rd. It's time for me to, you know, get back to my deficit, right? So I actually spoke with my mom and I was saying that to her. I was like, yeah, you know, Wednesday, it's time for me to get back to, you know, my deficit. And she was like, but you're taking all these leftovers. Like, how are you gonna finish them if you're gonna be on your deficit? And I'm just like, I'm still gonna eat them. I'm just gonna put them in my portions, like fit them in within my portions. And it's like something as simple as that. I used to think that way too. No, it's all about what your portions are. So I'm gonna be eating leftovers for the next 2 days still because I don't wanna cook. And let's be real, because they also taste good. But yeah, I'm just gonna portion it out. And this is just a reminder to you guys about that. And that's like such a mind shift change too. Anyways, I just thought I would point that out because that was like something I thought of that I was like, yeah, that is just such a huge mind shift change. I used to really think that way. I remember not packing leftovers from family holidays because I would fear them. Not my braid being all raggedy. I would fear them almost and be like, oh my God, if I bring it, then I'm gonna like overeat it. No, you just don't need to fear food and you don't need to think about things so like black and white. Just because you maybe didn't count your portions on actual Easter or the next day, you can go right back into your deficit and watch your portions the day after and still eat the leftovers. I don't know, maybe like, I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. But anyways, I'm gonna be eating leftovers today and I will show you guys how I make my plate, but just like portion it out. Because like I said, yesterday, I did not bother portioning it. I had the whole holiday leftover plate situation going. And that's why I'm like bloated today. I'll show you guys. This is like the holiday Easter bloat, okay? I'm not joking. Before Easter, I was like this. Now I'm like this. But it'll go away. Like it's not permanent. It's gonna go down. Good morning, y'all. Happy Friday. I absolutely love Fridays because they're just so chill around here. I started my morning off with doing my laundry, so that just feels good just to have that in there already. But I'm placing my grocery order now because I gotta do some cooking. I have been eating. Kylo's watching TV, which I usually don't let him watch TV this early, but he like begged for it, and it's very cold out right now. Canadian life. Even though it's like April. So I'm just letting him watch it. And then once it warms up a tiny bit, I think it's only getting like 4 degrees today or 3 degrees today. But at least that's better than the -1 that it is right now. So then we'll go outside afterwards and get our steps in and get our activity in. Anyways, I have been eating Easter leftovers since Tuesday when you guys saw. So Monday was Easter for us. Then I ate Easter leftovers on Tuesday, Wednesday, and yesterday, Thursday. So I've been going in, y'all. Like, I don't know if anyone else is that serious about leftovers like I am, but they're just so good. Like, leftovers just slap, especially when like they're my mom's home cooking. Like, it just does it for me. But I have been like portion controlling, you know what I mean? I haven't been going like ham or anything. But anyways, I'm looking forward to like a nice fresh meal today, something lighter. Obviously, even though I've been portion controlling the leftovers, it's been like a heavier dinner. It's been like 850 calories, which I usually like to do 7-ish. So I'm looking forward to a fresh cooked dinner today. I'll show you guys what I make. I haven't fully decided yet, but because it's Friday, I want something super easy. Actually, on my vlog channel, I shared this meal that I loved. So I'm thinking of making it again, and I'll probably just show you guys because I don't think all of you got to see it since a lot of you aren't on that second channel, which if you don't watch my second channel, hop over there. I do all of my mom content on that channel. Anyways, I'm gonna place my grocery order now because it's nice and early. I've been living in braids all week, but my braids, because I have layers, they've been looking raggedy. Like, what is the solution to this? Let me know if you guys have any tips. Probably like maybe gelling your hair a little bit. I don't know, whatever. It's just a casual look. So I actually wanted to give you guys an update on my weight. I am so excited because you guys know I have been dying to hit the 130s. This skinny legend right here, me, hit 139. I'm gonna go on my app right now just to find it, like go on the trends because I can't even remember exactly which day. I hit 139.2 on March 27th. I am so freaking proud of myself. Like, I haven't been in the 130s since like, I don't know, I wanna say maybe 4-ish years, 3-4 years. Like, this is insane. This is the slimmest I've been in like 3 to 4 years. Like 3 is being generous. I think it's like 4 years. So I'm just so proud of myself. Like, that's been my goal for the longest time, to get into 130s. And I told you guys that I keep that little weight loss mini goals note on my phone that I can check off. So I finally was able to check off that I reached 140 pounds by the end of March. I reached 140 pounds. Now the next goal is 135 pounds, which my goal was by April, but that's not gonna happen. Let's change that to May. I think we are 3 months into my weight loss journey for 2024. And that means I've lost roughly 8 pounds. I think in the beginning, like in episode 1, on January 2nd, I weighed 147.8, taking out my calculator. 147.8 minus 139.2. I have lost 8.5 pounds, 8.6 to be exact. But I'm so excited. That means in roughly 3 months, I've lost 8.5 pounds, which is amazing. And honestly, at the beginning of my weight loss journey, I would lose 8 pounds in like 2 months. So it was much quicker. But this is something I've mentioned to you guys. When you're gearing towards the end of your journey, like I've lost 50 pounds now, which is actually insane. I've officially lost 50 pounds. What? I'm actually just realizing that. Anyways, if you want to know my starting weight, my height, all my details, all of that, it's all in episode 1, by the way. But when you're like me and you've lost 50 pounds and now you have that last like 20 to 30 pounds to lose, it's gonna come off slower. So yes, 8.5 pounds in 3 months seems like, oh, that's like a little on the slow side, but it's actually still very normal. I always tell you guys that a normal weight loss is 2 to 4 pounds in 1 month, and 8.6 divided by 3, that means I've lost about 2.8 pounds on average monthly, which is normal. And again, this is towards the end of my weight loss journey, so it's going to be slower. In the beginning, I was losing like 4 pounds a month, 5 pounds a month, sometimes 3.5 pounds a month. So it's just going to be slower. Those last 10 to 20 pounds, ooh, they take a lot of determination and consistency because the weight loss does slow down. So it really takes a good mindset to keep pushing. So anyways, I'm so freaking proud of myself and I'm so happy. Oh, so happy. And I didn't gain any weight during Easter because I went over my calories on actual Easter, and then the day after Easter was maintenance for me, and then the last few days I have been in a deficit even though I was eating Easter leftovers. It just shows you guys you can have holiday food and you can just adjust your portions whether you want it to be maintenance or deficit that day based on that. And I weighed in this morning, I was 140. I'm a little bloated, like I'm not in the 130s today just because I'm getting my period soon, but yeah, didn't gain any weight during the Easter holidays. So this is just me showing you guys that you can live your little life and still lose weight, honey. I can't even believe I just realized that I've lost 50 pounds. Like, this is insane to me. Actually, last thing I wanted to mention to you guys is in episode 1, I showed you guys my body to show you guys what I was starting this part 2 of my weight loss journey looking like after the holidays. So I showed you my body, and again, I was 147.8 pounds. This is what I looked like in episode 1, January 2nd, 147.8 pounds. And I'm gonna show you guys what I look like now at 139 pounds, and it is now April. Because I'm curious to see the difference, just like what 8 pounds looks like. I see a big difference personally. I don't think it's gonna be a huge difference, like straight up, even my face. Like what? Who knew that I was legit a skinny legend? Like I've always had such a round, chubby face, but hello, double chin, where are you? I've been looking for you because you're missing. Like, where is she? Now, I still have a little bit of a double chin, but she's going. She's leaving town. Like, she's ready to leave, and I'm ready to say goodbye. But anyways, I think on me, because I am 5'1", 8 pounds does look like a lot. Like 8 pounds looks like 15 pounds on someone that's 5'1". Yeah, I wanted to do that like little body update because it has been 3 months. So maybe we'll do another body update in another 3 months. I actually need to adjust that like note of my goals because it wasn't fully realistic. Like, so now I hope to reach 135 by May. And by May, that might mean middle of May, end of May, whatever. Just in the month of May, I would like to hit 135 pounds. In one of my previous episodes, I told you guys like how much having the little mini goals helps me, so that's just what I'm adjusting now. But I'm gonna place my grocery order and we will do some cooking later. Oh, I actually forgot, it is still morning time, by the way. Not sponsored, but I'm gonna be having my AG1. I've been absolutely loving this recently. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. It is so hard to just get all of your greens in, get all of your nutrition in. This has been helping me so much. It smells amazing, by the way. It actually tastes amazing. Me and my husband were literally shocked when we tasted it because you know green powders can be a little suspicious, but this one is good, let me tell you that. And I love how good the little scoop is. It's like a nice sturdy scoop, so I'm just gonna actually pour. This just helps me start my morning off right. I feel so good when I take this. Again, not sponsored, but they did send it to me and I was really excited because I've seen so many people loving this and I've been feeling amazing on it. There are so many like, you know, powders and green juices and all that sort of stuff out there, but this one specifically, I love how clean the ingredients are and I love the taste of it because like I said, it can be a little suspect sometimes with these green powders, but this one tastes amazing. And honestly, I'm actually so impressed by the ingredients in this. Like a lot of these green powders, they just have so much crap added in them. And I love that this one, I bet that scared y'all thinking I was gonna drop it, is closed. I'm just so happy with this one. Like the ingredients are just top notch. Oh, you have to keep it refrigerated. Almost forgot to put it in the cabinet. Plus, the fact that you have to keep it refrigerated just goes to show how good the ingredients are because it's not filled with a bunch of preservatives. You do need to put it in the fridge to keep it good. If it's shelf stable, sometimes you're like, how are all those greens so shelf stable? You know what I mean? Okay, took a break, went to the park, and now I'm back home, just made the rice, and now we're gonna cook the ground chicken. So like I said, after having a few days of leftovers, I really just want like a super lean, fresh dinner. And let me tell you, this is one of the easiest dinners you're ever going to make. Like this is the dinner I go to when I don't wanna cook. Why? Because it's the least amount of cooking, chopping, and cleaning. The rice cooker does the job for you. The only thing you really have to clean is the pan after you do the chicken. And when I say minimal chopping, I mean, I always like some sort of fresh, healthy side. So like a salad, veggies, whatever. When you make that, that usually requires some level of chopping. But we're only gonna have some guac on the side and there is barely any chopping needed. All you gotta do is smash the avocado, squeeze some lime, done. It just really simplifies it. And if you're extra lazy, you don't even need to mash the avocado, honey. Just plop it off of the skin, squeeze a little lime on there, put a little salt, done, okay? This meal leaves behind the least amount of dirty dishes. So it requires almost no cleaning, pretty much no prepping, so easy, and it's done in under 15 minutes. I'm not even joking. Plus, this rice is fire. It's basically coconut lime rice. I'm gonna drizzle some lime at the end. Last time I just did coconut and didn't put lime, but this time I'm gonna zhuzh it up a little bit, put a little bit of lime in there, and it's so simple, but it's so like fresh and tasty. I'm telling you, although this meal is very simple, very fast, very easy, it packs a punch because it has so much flavor. So I'm cooking it very early because I just wanna like cook it ahead of time so that later I can actually relax. It's a Friday. I don't want to be up cooking at like 6 p.m. You guys know with toddlers, that 4 to 7 window is a hot mess. So I'd rather get my cooking done ahead of time. Also, this meal is on the lower calorie side because I am using ground chicken. I'm not even a fan of ground chicken, but honestly, the way I flavor this up, it just hits. So this is going to be a meal that's on the lower calorie side. I think it's gonna end up being like probably 500, which is good because usually for my dinners, I go for around 700 just because y'all know I like a big dinner, but this is a big dinner with so much flavor, but it's on the lower calorie side because I am using extra lean ground chicken. Gotta just make sure you really flavor it up though, that's for sure, because we all know ground chicken can be a little bit on the plain side, but the way I flavor it, fire. Chicken is done. How delish does that look? I also forgot to point out, because it is ground chicken, it literally takes like 10 to 12 minutes to make. You actually don't want to cook it for too long so it's not too dry, especially if you're meal prepping it because you're going to be reheating it. This meal, I said under 15 minutes. It's more like under 10 minutes. Like, I'm not even joking. So easy. I started cooking around 11 and it's literally 11:13. I love adding the lime after the rice is cooked because I find if you put it before, the lime gets like overcooked, whereas this is just nice and fresh. Also, I just remembered for extra added protein, I'm gonna use organic Greek yogurt plain. This is a great substitute for sour cream. There's nothing wrong with sour cream, but this tastes almost identical to sour cream and there's so much protein in it. So it's such a good opportunity to just get that extra protein in. Good morning, guys. I am getting ready for the day. Okay, so I wanted to pop on the camera and give you guys an update on my weight and also just chit chat with you guys, give you just like an update on my journey and where it has been. I'm drinking my yerba tea, which I'm actually doing a full video documenting trying out this tea because apparently the girlies said that this is Ozempic in a tea. So we shall see if that's true, okay? Apparently this is really supposed to help you lose weight, speed up your metabolism, help with your energy levels, which it definitely has been helping with my energy levels. I also have noticed some really interesting things about drinking it. You guys shall see that soon. But yeah, I'm just drinking that now. I like to drink it before noon because if I drink it after noon, I'm not falling asleep until like midnight. Okay, let's do a weight update. So I last weighed myself. I think the last update I gave you guys, to be honest with you, I can't even remember, but we'll just do recently what I've been. So I recently hit 139 on the dot and I was so happy to hit the 139s. I mean, you guys know I was like dying to just hit the 130s. So I'm so happy about that. And then on April 27th, I hit 138.8 and that was my last lowest weight because today is May 2nd and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, your girl has been eating like almost maintenance calories for the last few days, so I have obviously not had a drop in weight if I haven't been in a deficit. So that brings me to my next point, which I actually get asked this question, is how long do I stay in a deficit? Here's what I recommend. I always recommend doing a refeed after 2 to 3 months in a deficit, which I'm being a little hypocritical because I did do a little mini refeed around Easter. I spent 3 days in maintenance, but let me explain to you guys what refeeds are, why they're good, and why you should do them. I feel like my body is naturally calling for me to do one because I'm definitely overdue to do one. Because like I mentioned to you guys, I've spent the last few days eating like 1,700 to 1,800 calories, which is not fully my maintenance. My maintenance is about 1,900, close to 2,000, but the last few days I've been eating like roughly 18. So I've still been in a very slight deficit, but not really enough to, you know, give me some good weight loss. And that wasn't by choice. It was kind of just by me. Naturally, I noticed I was feeling so hungry. And that also just goes to show you need to listen to your body. I don't know what it was. I do know that I was ovulating, so maybe there's just something that's up with my cycle this month, but I was starving, like just so hungry. It felt like my usual 1,500 calorie deficit was not enough for me. Like I desperately was just hungry. So it just goes to show you really do need to listen to your body. Like I'm not gonna starve myself if I'm feeling that hungry. I'm going to listen to my body and where it's at in that moment. So yeah, in the past few days, I've spent eating roughly 1,800 calories and that is not enough for me to lose weight. So that's why I haven't seen a drop in weight since April 27th, which was 138.8. Since then, I've just been hovering around 140, 139-ish, like just going back and forth. I have not gotten lower than 138.8. But with that being said, I do feel like it can quickly become a habit to kind of like eat more than your deficit. I'm not ovulating anymore and like I don't feel that like hunger feeling anymore. So at this point, it's more of just like a habit. Like I need to get right back into my deficit and get things back on a roll, eating 1,500 again, because 1,500 is such a good amount for me. Like 1,500 just makes me lose a good amount of weight without me feeling too hungry. Like anything lower than that, it's not sustainable for me. So let's talk about refeeds, what they are, why you should do them. First of all, they are so important for your hormones. As women, we're not meant to be in a calorie deficit for too long. It's really hard on our hormones. You're technically only supposed to be in a deficit for 8 to 12 weeks max. We're in May now and I've been in a deficit since January. So 4 months I've been in a deficit because May hasn't finished yet. So I'm definitely due for a refeed. But like I said, I did spend a good 3 days around Easter, you know, refeeding my body. And then like I said, the past few days I've been doing 18. So it's not that I've been eating 1,500 calories straight, you know, for the last 4 months. I've definitely given myself a little bit of breaks here and there, but I am due for a full refeed. The reason why I've been pushing it off is because your girl's gonna be traveling this summer, honey, and I actually have a trip coming up pretty soonish, so I just want my refeed to be during my trip because that makes most sense. And let's explain what a refeed is. I know that refeed sounds like you're just like gonna gorge on food and like refeed yourself. Honey, that is not what it is, okay? So a refeed is you're sort of just like refeeding and refueling your body and your metabolism. Your metabolism is very adaptive and it can get used to being in that calorie deficit, which is another reason why I love my little weekly weekly cheat meals because it kind of like sparks up your metabolism. It's almost like a 1 meal refeed weekly, so it really helps to keep your metabolism on its toes so your body doesn't get comfortable. But besides that, it's very important to do refeeds for your hormones and for your metabolism. So you can do it in 2 different ways. The way that I like to do it is I like to just straight up eat maintenance for 1 to 2 weeks. 2 weeks is preferable, but if you're in a pinch and you just really want to get back to losing weight, 1 week is good. Again, 2 weeks preferable. So I like to just go straight into maintenance calories. So my deficit's 1500, my maintenance is roughly 19 to 2000. I will just straight up eat 2000 calories maintenance for the next 2 weeks. That is my refeed. Again, what that does is help to refuel your metabolism so that it does not adjust to that deficit. And when you're in a deficit for so long and you're losing weight for so long, you'll notice that like losing a good amount of weight, and then after it starts to kind of stall a little bit. So doing refeeds helps prevent that long stalling period and really helps to keep you losing weight. And they're also just important mentally. I start to notice after a few months of being in a deficit, I just don't have as much of like that fire, that like motivation, which we're gonna get into motivation versus discipline in a hot second here, because I always get asked that, how do you stay motivated? So I'll get into that. The second way that you could do it is instead of just jumping straight into maintenance calories, you could slowly build up. So I've done this in the past because this is what Michael Matthews recommends doing, is kind of slowly doing it. Honestly, tomato, I follow some other fitness influencers that prefer, like I do, to just go straight into maintenance, but then there's other people that prefer to like do it slowly because you get the least amount of water weight gain when you do it slowly. When you go straight into maintenance, you do get like 2-pound water weight gain, but then it goes away. Like it's not actual weight gain. It drops after like 3 to 4 days. Some people just don't like that to begin with. For me, I don't mind. Like I'm not scared if the scale goes up 2 pounds when I know logically it's water weight. Like it doesn't bother me. So really everyone's just gonna be different. Maybe also people don't like that initial bloat you get, because when you're eating 1500 calories and then bam, you're gonna go straight into maintenance for 2 weeks, you're gonna get a little bit of a bloat, but again, it's water weight and you'll go right back down after like a week or so. Some people like to avoid that whole process and increase their calories slowly. So what people will do is, let's say your deficit is 1500, day 1 of your refeed, you would eat 1600. And then day 2, you would eat 1600 again. Day 3, maybe you'd eat 1700 now. And you would just keep slowly increasing it every day or every 2 days, depending on how slow you want to do the process, until you reach maintenance. Then you sit at maintenance for at least 4 to 5 days, preferably a week. So that process can be a little bit longer, more dragged out, more of like a 2 to 3 week process. So it really is just personal preference. You can do it slowly, or you could do it like I do it, where you just go straight into maintenance for a week or 2. It really is personal preference, but regardless, that is what a refeed is. And I highly recommend it. It's so important, again, for your hormones. You will start to notice as a woman, especially, I mean, men as well, but especially as women, our hormones are very fickle and fragile and sensitive, okay? We're sensitive creatures. So being in a deficit for too long, it does have an effect on your hormones. I feel like the past few days, me really listening to my body and just eating a little bit of extra calories was worth it. Yes, I technically should be doing a refeed right now, if we're being honest. I mean, we're pulling on month 4 and I haven't done an actual refeed, which is not good. But like I said, I got my trip coming up and I'm obviously not gonna be in a calorie deficit when I go on my trip. So it just makes sense for me to do my refeed during my trip. Like that would make the most sense so I can have extra calories, you know? I'm just like holding out a little longer, but it did feel good the last few days. It gave me a nice little break, but now I feel like I am ready to get back, be disciplined, and get back on my deficit. That brings me to my next point: discipline versus motivation, honey. Because let me tell you, you're gonna need it. If you want to lose weight, you're gonna need discipline. That's one thing I love about my personality. Like I have a couple flaws, you know, that I'm like, don't love that about myself. Wish I wasn't like that. One thing I love about myself, honey, is I am disciplined. If I want something and I set my mind to it, best believe nothing's gonna take my eye off it. Like that's just how I am. And that's why I'm such a routine person. Like I can stick to it and do something like a robot sometimes. Like I love that about myself. So anyways, let's talk about motivation versus discipline. People ask me all the time, how do you find the motivation to lose weight? How do you do it? You don't. Like you don't. Motivation is so damn short term. Motivation can last anywhere from 30 seconds to like a couple minutes to just a few days. It's so short term. You ever get this like thing inside of you where all of a sudden you're like so motivated to clean the house and you're just like on a roll, goal, right? And you're like a few minutes in, you're like your battery just dies. You don't have that motivation anymore because it really is not reliable. You have to rely on discipline. So I always say the people that are actually going to be disciplined in their weight loss journey are the people that want it bad enough. Like if you want something bad enough, like nothing's gonna stop you. You're gonna be relentless about it, right? That's just what it comes down to, is how bad do you want it? And then once you want it bad enough, you have to train your mind to think, I cannot rely on motivation. Like that's not reliable. So you have to rely on discipline. And what that is do you want to go to work every morning? Probably not, but you do it anyways, right? Why? Because you have to. So you kind of just have to think of weight loss like that. Do you want to work out that day? Maybe not. Why should you do it? Because you have to if you want to reach your goals. Like you just have to break it down and be very like with it, like very strict and like disciplined about it. And that's just what it is. Like I have days when I'm like, oh, you know, it would be nice to have an extra cookie at night. But then I think to myself, that's gonna put me over my deficit. No, that's not gonna get me to my goal. So basically all I can say is it's not about motivation. It is about discipline. You just do what you gotta do to get to where you wanna be. I always say this is something I stand by because it's something I noticed myself, that I would like have these wishes and goals and dreams that I would say out loud but never actually achieve them, and it's because I never actually had a plan. So I always say that a goal is only a wish without a plan. Like you're not actually going to achieve that goal unless you actually have a plan. So saying, oh, I want to do this, or I want to lose 30 pounds. Okay, how are you gonna do it? Like what's your plan? Because if you don't have a plan, it's just a wish. It's not actually gonna happen, do you know? So yeah, it's just about being disciplined, and that's what I gotta get on this week. It's May 2nd. I'm ready to lose a good amount of weight in May. If 138.8 was me on April 27th a few days ago, I would like to, I hope I'm not like too far-fetched with this. I feel like if I really stick to my deficit really good, get a lot of steps in, then I feel like I could hit 135 by the end of May. That would be like a really good goal for me to just keep my whole journey on track. But anyways, I need to finish this tea because it's getting cold, honey. It actually tastes low-key so good. Anyways, I just wanted to chit chat with you guys about that. I will probably get on the scale again, but it's already Thursday and I'm having my cheat meal on Saturday, so I'm really not expecting another drop in weight this week. So this episode, probably you guys will not see a drop in weight, but that's my little weigh-in update. Have spent the last few days kind of in maintenance-ish. So it was a nice little mini break for me. That'll be fun too, is once I actually go on my trip, I think I will document my whole trip eating-wise and like weight loss wise, and just share what that looks like with you guys. How do I navigate that? So that will be coming up within the next month and a half, 2 months-ish. We shall see. I'm not gonna tell you guys the exact date just yet. You know, can't give away all the tea, but sorry, my mom's texting me about Kylo because she has him today. She said he's eating beans. That boy is my son. Like he loves to eat, and he literally loves meat. Like what toddler do you know loves meat? I cannot. He's my son to a T. Anyways, I have to do groceries. I really need to place a grocery order on my phone. I've been so lazy with cooking lately. I don't know what it is, you guys. I have been so incredibly lazy. Like I don't even know what to cook today, what to do. Shout out to my mom because she has been helping me. She's actually been making meals. Like when she cooks for my dad, she's just been making extra and then giving it to me. So I've been spoiled low-key. Like I haven't needed to cook for like a good solid week and a half. Like I'm so lazy with that. But anyways, I gotta get some good groceries and do some cooking. I don't know, we shall see, but I feel good and ready to get back to my deficit, my 1,500 calorie deficit, not my little 1817 that I've been doing. Good morning from Tennessee. Okay, so I feel like we need to catch up, especially regarding my weight loss journey. I wanted to give you guys a weight update. Also, if you are confused as to why I'm in Tennessee, then you need to hop on to my second channel. I'm vlogging my entire trip and, you know, giving you guys all the tea on there. But the tea for my weight loss journey will be in this video. So I want to give you guys an update like on my weight and how everything has been. And honestly, I was a little bit worried about this trip because I was like, oh my God, 5 weeks in the US. I'm gonna try all the foods. I mean, there are literally a million Mexican spots, like everywhere you turn your head. And I love Mexican food. Like Mexican food is my favorite. And like I said, there's so many here. I still have yet to try a place, but that is on the to-do list for this weekend. So I've been here for almost about 2 weeks, and I'm gonna share with you guys what my method has been to keep me on track with my weight. Now, I'm gonna be real with you. My goal for this trip was not to lose any weight. I mean, obviously it would be great if I lost weight, but I knew realistically, I'm most likely I'm not gonna lose weight on this trip. But my goal for this trip was to either maintain my weight, or I gave myself kind of like a 3-pound weight gain allowance. Like, hey, if I gain 2 to 3 pounds on this trip, I won't be mad. Not a big deal, right? But I really didn't want to gain more than that because I personally feel like I could keep myself in a good range, right? So I'll share with you guys what I've been doing, my method, and have I gained any weight so far? Have I maintained my weight? I will tell you guys that. Oh, also Chick-fil-A was like #1 on my list. We do have a Chick-fil-A spot in Toronto, but I never go into the city. I hate the city of Toronto. It's so busy. It's just, if you know, you know. I'm a suburb girl. So I really have never tried it, and I was so excited to try it. Tried it for the first time like 2 days ago and literally got it 2 days in a row. But it was absolutely incredible and so good. I'm gonna pop up the photos here, you guys. But anyways, I wanted to share kind of what my method has been in regards to my weight loss journey. So let's get into it. So my thing has been, you guys know I always do one cheat meal a week, but since I'm on vacation, we really wanna try like different food spots, right? But also at the same time, I don't wanna go eat out every single day. 1, because it's not healthy. 2, if I eat out every single day, I know I most likely will gain more weight just because you don't know what's being put into your food. There's always extra unaccounted calories. And then 3, imagine how much money you'll spend when you like eat out constantly. You know what I mean? Like you'll probably spend an extra like 3 grand at the end of the month. You know what I mean? So our goal was to really balance like cooking from our Airbnb, but also living life and like going and trying a few places more than we normally would at home, right? Our goal has been, hey, we can eat out and try a new spot like 3 times max a week, but in between that, we need to be cooking or just eating something at home or at the Airbnb, right? That's what we've been doing. And honestly, let me give y'all an update, okay? So not me being in the South and I'm already saying y'all all the time. No, I'm just joking. I actually just like say y'all all the time. Not that that's like a Toronto thing. I think I just get that from like being on social media and stuff. But anyways, I'm a Southern girl now. Okay, so let me share with you. I actually didn't get a chance to do one last weigh-in right before my trip because I was on my period. So it just didn't work out. Like I couldn't get a true weigh-in. But I do think if I was... Oh, I see someone with a camera. Now I don't feel alone because I have like the window open and I'm like, oh my God, if the neighbors walk by and they see the camera, like how embarrassing. But I see someone with a camera. Although I will say, I think she's taking real estate photos, so it's different, but hey girl, at least I'm not alone. Okay, so my last lowest weight was, what was it? Let me see. Let's do a screen recording so I can take y'all with me. So my last lowest weight was, I think it was 136. Yeah, 136.6, and that was on May 25th. And again, I was like on my period after that, so you can see how much the weight went up and fluctuated after that. But lowest weight, 136.6. I weighed myself yesterday or 2 days ago, I can't remember, 136.4. No, there must have been, I think there was a lower weight than that, was there not? No, there wasn't. Oh wow, I just took it in, so I technically lost 0.2 pounds. But like I wanted to mention to you guys, I think if I was able to weigh myself right before my trip, if I wasn't on my period, I do think I would have actually been 135.8 or something like that. But again, I was bloated on my period, just wasn't able to get a last like good low weight weigh-in in. So yeah, weighed myself literally a day or 2 ago, 136.4. Like I haven't gained any weight, I've just maintained and stayed the same, which in a way I wasn't shocked about, but in a way I was a little shocked. I thought I would be a little bit bloated with some water weight, but like I said, in a way I wasn't shocked because I have been sticking to this method that I've been doing. Oh my God, she's walking by. I hope she doesn't see my camera. We're good. So awkward. So what I have been doing is being very mindful to not go overboard. So in the past, anytime I would be on like a vacation, or even like when I moved into my home 5 years ago, when we moved, we didn't have a stove and we didn't have a fridge for like 3 weeks. So I used that as a huge excuse to just like eat out every single day and just go ham. And I literally didn't even think about calories. I was way overeating and I literally gained 15 pounds. Like, it was insane. And I look back at that now and I'm like, that is such an excuse. If you don't have a stove and you don't have a fridge for 3 weeks, you can order healthy food out. That doesn't mean you need to overeat on your calories every day. So it's really just about being mindful and not using it as an excuse to like go ham. It's gonna come with repercussions. Like, I don't want to go gain weight back and now fall back on my weight loss journey. But two, I also don't want to like eat like crazy and then I'm like super bloated and then I don't feel comfortable in my clothes for the rest of my trip. I packed so many cute outfits, matching sets. I want to feel good in my skin and confident and cute in the outfits I picked, and I'm not gonna feel that way if I'm gorging on food and overeating, right? This is where balance comes in, right? But at the same time, I really do want to enjoy my trip, and if I go to a Mexican restaurant, I don't want to be counting my calories. You know what I mean? So this is where the balance really comes in. This is what I've been doing. So a few days ago, I think like a week ago, so basic, should have used the opportunity to try a new spot in Tennessee, but so basic, I was really craving pizza, so I ordered Domino's, and that was like my cheat meal. And the next day, my husband ordered Shake Shack, and it was so tempting for me to like also join in and eat it, right? But then I said to myself, no, like I had my cheat meal yesterday, you know, and I did go over my calories with the Domino's. So I was like, I'm gonna opt out on the Shake Shack. I'll try it another time. I did take a bite or two from Kylo's and his burger, but I opted out. And that is where like the balance comes in. Instead of just going ham and having that as well, and then bam, I have 2 cheat meals in a row, and then who knows, by that point, then you have a third, then you have a fourth, like you just tend to go off the wagon. So it comes with a little bit of sacrifice. So I just said to myself, you know what? I had Domino's the day before. I did go over my calories, and I want to make it clear, it's not that eating pizza takes you over your calories. I could have just had 1 slice of pizza and then the next day I could have had Shake Shack because maybe I didn't go over my calories the day before, but that wasn't the case. When I ordered Domino's, I treated it as a cheat meal and I had a whole medium pizza to myself. So I did have that cheat meal, right? So I knew the next day I didn't want to, so I opted out and I ordered some Chipotle. Again, so basic, but like, really, girl, you're in Tennessee, try some new spots. But I ordered some Chipotle just because Chipotle is one of those spots where it's really easy to like make a healthy meal, right? So I just had beans, lettuce, blah, 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 the whole shebang, you guys know. Basically, the guide that I've been following is if I order out one day, then I'll cook for 2 to 3 days and then order out, and then cook at home for 2 to 3 days and then order out. So that way there's like a good balance of days in between where I am eating healthy, cooking from home, and not going over my calories. So I kind of just been doing that, sticking to that 2 to 3 times a week max rule. And in between that, having the healthy days where I stick to my maintenance calories. I have not been in a deficit, but sticking to maintenance calories at least. It's been working, y'all, because I have not gained any weight and I still feel like I've been enjoying myself. Like I said, there has been days in between where I have been like holding back a little bit and, you know, maybe not joining in on fully on certain meals, but overall I have been enjoying myself and just having a good kind of healthy balance, and I feel good. I'm not bloated. I'm able to like wear my cute outfits. This is just different for me because I've gone on trips in the past. Granted, I have not traveled in 10 years. Last time I went on a trip, and even the time before that, I literally came back 15 pounds heavier because it can be so easy to just like every day go in, and you end up overeating on calories every single day, and before you know it, you gain 10 to 15 pounds. So that's what I've been doing. I do recommend that if you have a vacation coming up and you're a little bit worried, just stay balanced. Like, I am here in the US for 5 weeks, so yeah, I do have a longer period of time to like be able to enjoy myself and be balanced in between. If you're going on a trip for a week, it's like you only have 7 days to try out different foods, so I can understand how the time frame is tighter, but I would just follow that method of like being mindful. Maybe if you know you went a little overboard on the day before, just go a little less on the day after, or maybe like cut down on a certain meal the next day or whatever, you know, just try to be mindful and balanced. Let's get a workout in while Kylo is sleeping, because like I said, this girl has not worked out on her vacation at all. But my number one tip, if you're going on vacation or if you're just a busy mom and you don't have a gym membership, you just want to work out at home quickly in under 10 minutes, get your resistance bands. Also, quick workout break. I wanted to mention to you guys that I have also been walking like crazy. So that could have something to do with me not gaining any weight on this trip. Sorry, I'm out of breath. But yeah, I've been walking like crazy. Literally had 21,000 steps the other day. The Airbnb that we got happened to just be out of breath. In the most perfect walkable neighborhood. It's just like the most quiet, dreamiest. It's the dreamiest neighborhood you could imagine. Like you guys saw probably the clips in the first part of this video. That's our neighborhood. Like it's so dreamy. You go for like a casual neighborhood walk and there's just like nature and an abundance of trees everywhere. It just makes you want to keep walking and walking and walking. It's also incredibly close to Target and so many other stores. It's also like inconveniently close to Chick-fil-A, which we don't need to talk about that. So like on my morning walk, I just casually smell Chick-fil-A, which is not a good thing. No, but seriously, it's so close to things. So literally the other day we just casually walked to Target. Like it's so close to everything. So we've just been doing a lot of walking. So yeah, been getting like literally 15 to 20,000 steps a day. So that definitely probably has a lot to do with, you know, how I've been able to not gain any weight so far at least. Also, I think I forgot to mention this. I mentioned briefly, and this is just me trying to give you guys examples of what balance looks like. So I mentioned before that I tried Chick-fil-A for the first time, and then I ended up having it 2 days in a row, which obviously doesn't follow my general guide of me saying, you know, eat out one day and then do 2 to 3 days of cooking. So let me explain how I decided to handle that. So we ordered Chick-fil-A and I was like, cool, I want to try like everything I want to try on the menu. So I ordered the chicken sandwich, the mac and cheese, I had some Coke. So I just didn't count calories that day, right? I used it as my little cheat meal. And then the next day I was like, we are eating healthy today, okay? Then my husband was like, Amy, I really want Chick-fil-A again. And I was like, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. And at first I was like, okay, you go get it. But then I was like, oh my God, I want it again too. Like the Chick-fil-A sauce is just so damn good, which I plan on buying it from Kroger's or just straight up from Chick-fil-A. I think it's cheaper at Chick-fil-A. But anyways, I was like, you know what, Amy? This is where balance and discipline comes in. I wanted to have Chick-fil-A again. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna have it. But this time I'm not going to, you know, get everything on the menu that I want. I'm gonna make sure I keep the whole meal under 1,000 calories so that I can still fit it within my maintenance calories. So that's what I did. I had Chick-fil-A again the second day, but at the end of the day, my calories was still within maintenance. I think I ended up having about 2,000 calories that day. That was the choice that I made. That just goes to show you, it's just about balancing. Like just because I wanted to have Chick-fil-A again the second day in a row doesn't mean I needed to go all out again and have a cookie and the mac and cheese and the sandwich and you know what I mean? You can be balanced and be like, okay, this time I'm gonna kind of like ease up over here and not have the mac and cheese today, not have the Coke today, and just kind of like be more balanced. You know what I mean? This is just me giving you guys examples of what balance looks like when you want to be on vacation and enjoy yourself, but still you don't want to like come back 15 pounds heavier. So that's an example of how I handled that situation specifically. But yeah, definitely today I'm gonna be cooking, and then maybe Saturday tomorrow we will try out, like we're trying to debate, there's this steakhouse near us that is like 4.8 stars, so we're like debating on that, or there's so many Mexican spots we want to try. Oh, help me. Good morning. Really weird, but lately I have had like a major ick with breakfast. Like, I don't know what it is, you guys. Honestly, this whole week I have been having the weirdest symptoms because I am getting my period like any day now. And I will say my symptoms this cycle have been so much better because I am now back on inositol and 5-HTP, which helped my symptoms so much more. I did not get nauseous during ovulation this time, and my mood swings have been so much better this week. It's like the week before my period, but I've just been getting like the ick with breakfast, and I think that it's because my period is coming up, and anytime I'm about to get my period, I'm weird with food. But this is random. I went to Sprouts for the first time. When was it? Yesterday morning. Why does Sprouts have the best deli meat? And by the way, you can never convince me to hate deli meat. Like, I'm sorry, I'm Portuguese. We love cold cuts, we love meat. But this is the peppered smoked turkey breast. I have never tasted a better cut of like turkey breast deli meat like this in my life. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is I am starving, which by the way, I've been starving this week, completely starving, and I don't know what to eat because I have the total ick with breakfast. Like, if I think about bagels, I actually want to throw up. And if I think about bacon and eggs, I think I might just vomit. Like, ew, I don't know why I'm so disgusted with breakfast. Yesterday for breakfast, I literally ate ground beef tacos. Like, I've just been wanting lunch and dinner, have not been wanting breakfast. So we're gonna make pizza this morning for breakfast. It's 9:30 and I'm going to eat a pizza because I don't care. Like, it's 3 o'clock somewhere in the world. Who said you have to eat breakfast food for breakfast? I want to know who made that rule because I'm not subscribing to it. Anyways, I also wanted to show you this that we got at Sprouts. We picked up some goat milk for Kylo because most of you guys know that we actually used to give Kylo water buffalo milk, which water buffalo milk and sheep milk, if you guys do not know, is incredible for you. There's so much more protein in it, and it's also way easier to digest than cow's milk. Buffalo milk is a lot higher calorie and higher fat. It's like 8% fat, but it is amazing if you're super sensitive to milk and you have a harder time digesting it. It is way easier to digest. It's also just amazing for growing toddlers. Like, I don't know if this is the case, like if this is why, but Kylo has always been in like the 97 to 99 percentile in height, and me and my husband are not super tall people, so I just feel like it's helped him grow so much. He had like a full mouth of teeth by the time he was like 18 months. Like, this kid has grown at the speed of light. It also, like I said, is just easier on the tummy. It's so much healthier. I'm actually gonna pop up on the screen like the differences, but you cannot get water buffalo milk in Tennessee. Not me just like assuming y'all have everything we have in Canada, because obviously the US typically has more than we would have in Canada. But like, do they just not have buffaloes in Tennessee? I don't know, I'm very curious. Like, in other states in the US, like, do you guys have access to buffalo milk, or is it just not like a US thing in general, or is it just not a Tennessee thing? I don't know, but we haven't been able to get buffalo milk or even sheep's milk, which, by the way, if any of you are from the Nashville area, let me know if I can even get that. We've searched everywhere, we can't find it. But the next best thing is goat milk. Goat milk is higher protein, it has slightly less sugar. It even says on the back here, I will read it for you guys. Goat milk contains less lactose and milder proteins than cow's milk, making it easier to digest. It's a lot easier to digest as well, and the calories are similar to cow's milk. Buffalo milk tastes good, sheep's milk tastes really good, especially. From what I remember, goat's milk just like tastes like a little different. So I don't know, when Kylo was around 1.5, he did drink goat milk sometimes when we couldn't get our hands on the buffalo or sheep, and he was fine. But now that he's like 2.5, you know, he's at that picky age, I feel like he would taste the difference right away. But I'm gonna try to just do like a half goat and half cow and see if I can get him switched over mostly to goat milk. Anyways, I just thought I would share. Ingredients are definitely not perfect in this one. I find it so hard to find like pizza crust or pitas that have perfect ingredients, but I did find these at Sprouts and they're not too bad. I did like how this whole thing is 150 calories, I think, right? Yeah, one crust 150, like that's fire. Also, just want to point out there's 2 grams of sugar and 3 grams of fiber. So pretty good macros, just need to find ones with better ingredients. This pizza sauce tastes so good and the ingredients are amazing. It's basically just tomato puree with a bunch of different seasonings, no seed oil. This is my favorite pepperoni ever from Applegate. No antibiotics, and it's casein free, no nitrates, but I love the taste of it too. It is fire. Tastes so good. It is pork and beef. Also, my little hack is I usually put spinach under the cheese to get some good greens in, but I don't have any spinach right now, so we're just keeping it classic. If you are not seasoning your pizza, you're doing it wrong. Fight me. Like, I'm willing to argue about that. Only a little bit of garlic sauce because these things tend to run high calorie. I mean, who said you can't have pizza for breakfast? Not me. Kind of a random combo, but these strawberries are so perfectly ripe right now and they just taste so sweet and juicy. So I'm like really craving them. So this is my morning breakfast craving right now. Guys, let's do a chit chat and update on where I've been with my weight loss journey. Your girl has still been just eating maintenance for the most part. Like I have days when I eat a deficit and then I've had days where I've just been in maintenance. Sugar, he picks the most wonderful times to decide, I wanna come inside now, right when you start filming, mom. Okay, let me go get him because it's like 30 degrees outside. By the way, he loves being outside in the heat. Like he loves it. But now he's like, it's too much, mom, get me in, which I don't blame him. So yeah, I'm like, let me just chit chat and give them an update because I feel like sometimes there's this pressure like online where it's like when you're sharing your weight loss journey, there's like a little bit of pressure and I'm like, oh my God, people are probably waiting for me to like hit my next weight loss goal. At the end of the day, I'm literally sharing my real journey. I just uprooted my entire life with my toddler. Not only just my entire life, with my toddler, my 2-year-old, uprooted my entire life and moved to another country. Like my life's been a bit wild the past 2 months. So weight loss just hasn't been my focus. And obviously with me traveling, trying new foods, I did mention in my last vlog to you guys that I gained, I think like 4 or 5 pounds. Yeah, pretty much 5, which I was like okay with because I feel like when you're on vacation, that makes sense. I was actually so proud of myself that I didn't gain 15. That was the update in the last video if you guys haven't seen it yet. But yeah, I'm so proud of myself that I didn't go crazy and go off the rails and, you know, gain too much. But I've been feeling like, okay, Amy, you know, you're finally settled into your new home. It's time to get back into your groove and like, you know, get back into your calorie deficit so I can start hitting the rest of my weight loss goals, you know? But I did still just want to like tell you guys and just be honest that I have been in maintenance the past like 3 weeks since I've lived here. I've just been eating maintenance for the most part. I've been weighing myself a couple times a week and I still just weigh 141. Like I still just weigh the exact same amount. So I'm actually proud as well that I've just been maintaining my weight really good without tracking my calories much. I haven't been tracking my calories the last 2-3 weeks. I've just been being mindful and obviously looking at it, like tracking my calories mindfully, if that makes sense, but not actually calculating anything. So this just also attests that your girl knows how to maintain her weight. Like I said, I've been just maintaining and staying at 141 for the last 3 weeks without actually sitting there calculating every calorie, just by, you know, doing healthy practices, looking at my portions and knowing, okay, you know, probably should stop there, listening to my like intuitive eating. And yeah, like I said, there is this pressure sometimes where I'm like, oh my God, you know, I want to be like a positive light for you guys and just show you guys, oh my God, look, I've lost another 4 pounds, I've lost another 5 pounds, but I'm also just sharing my realistic journey. There's only so much pressure someone can have. I can't be like a perfect person, and this is just where I'm at in life right now. You know, after moving, like I said, just weight loss hasn't been my priority, but I now feel settled, and the reality is your girl has goals. Basically, my plan is, I already started my deficit yesterday, and then I am obviously continuing today. So for the next 2 months until end of October, I will be in a deficit, then I'll take a break, and then I'll be in a deficit for November to Christmas, and then I'll take another 2-week break. And if you missed one of my last episodes, I explained why I take a break and why it is important to give your hormones in your body a break, especially as a woman. It's just not good to be in a calorie deficit for that long. You'll mess up your hormones. So that's kind of my plan. I have a good plan for the rest of 2024, I feel like, to lose at least another 15 pounds. So wish me luck, y'all. But yeah, I feel good with where I'm at. I'm trying to be like supportive of myself and just be like positive and just give myself positive words, because a part of me is kind of just like wishing that I would started my calorie deficit the second I moved here, but I don't think that's realistic. Like, you just moved to another country, you're trying to get your toddler situated in a new country, a new home, just got him situated in school. Like, I kind of had bigger fish to fry. So if anything, I'm actually proud that I've just maintained my weight, super proud of that. And also, like, if you look at it, I've been in a calorie deficit since January 2024, and it's just not realistic as human beings. I think this whole weight loss journey just shows you guys it's not realistic as human beings to think you're gonna lose weight for like a year straight, 2 years straight. No, it's just not realistic. Like, you need to take breaks, and that was my 2-month break, and I'm glad I did it. But I am back. Like, yesterday I kind of just woke up and felt like, you know what, I feel like I've had enough of a break. I feel settled into my new home now. This is where discipline has to come above motivation, because do I necessarily have a bunch of motivation right now? No, but the discipline has to come in. It's kind of like that, what I tell you guys, do you want to get up and go to work in the morning? Usually no, but you do it anyway. So that's kind of how I feel. Like, I'm like, would I rather spend the rest of the year in maintenance? Yeah, because it's like comfortable, but the reality is your girl's got goals. So this is where discipline has to come in. If you want something, you gotta get it, and I want it, so I'm gonna get it. So yesterday I just decided today's the day. So, and that just also goes to show yesterday was a Wednesday. I hate this thing where people are like, I'll start on Monday. Like, what's with the Mondays? You know what I mean? I just decided, you gotta get back in a calorie deficit, girl, because I want to lose at least another 10 to 15 pounds before the end of the year. I feel like, to keep me really good and on track. I also, another thing I wanted to mention, the workouts. With me traveling, I have barely been working out, which is so unlike me, and I feel like it's been throwing off my routine. Now that I am like settled in my new home, I am so looking forward to just getting back on a good, healthy workout routine. We just ordered some weights. We have a good sized garage, so we are planning on using half of the garage and making it into a little mini gym. Nothing crazy, but just a nice little mini gym. I'll put my resistance bands in there, a jump rope. It has good ceiling, so I'll definitely be able to do some jump rope on there, or even on the driveway. We just bought some weights. We bought a bench. So I am so looking forward to getting back into lifting weights, because I've been seeing my body, and like, this is one of the good things about like being an influencer. In the same sense, it could be a bad thing, but it makes you very hyper vigilant about yourself, and like, you can see yourself in every light, right? So I've been watching my videos, and I've been like looking at my body, and I'm like, I can tell the definition has not been there. Like, I've been looking a little floppy, a little wobbly. And normally, like, my legs just look strong and like toned, and it just hasn't been in the last month or two, because I feel like I've lost muscle from not working out. Whereas when you're working out, like, you can lose all the weight you want in the world, but if you want to look toned and look strong and have like that nice lifted butt and strong legs and strong arms, like, you have to lift weights. So I am so looking forward to getting back to lifting weights, but it's going to get delivered next week Tuesday, which kind of sucks. For now, I will just use my resistance bands. Anyways, I just wanted to give you guys a little update and keep it real with y'all. Like I said, sometimes I feel pressure, but then on the other point, I'm just like, this YouTube channel is literally my life. Like, I can be real and share it, or I can try to pretend like I need to be this perfect person. Like, I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? Like, it takes too much energy to be fake and try to be perfect. It's way easier to just be real and share my journey with y'all. So yeah, not much inspirational weight loss has been happening in the last 2 months. I haven't lost weight, but hey, I've been maintaining. So check mark. That's a good thing in my book, and I look at that as progress, and I look at that as something to be proud of. So anyways, there's my little update. Still don't know what I'm cooking for dinner. Thinking I might make chipotle lime chicken thighs. I love how I said don't know what I'm making for dinner, but like, I kind of low-key do. I just decided like 5 minutes ago, that's why I said that. But anyways, I think I might make some chipotle lime chicken thighs and just do like a quick little chicken and rice situation. So fun, I know. Amy eating chicken and rice. Like, what? Amy never eats chicken and rice. So different for her.